Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. Can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Listen online, the website that rocks, KMOD.com. Past shows are available on iTunes. Search under BMMS. Listen with your cell phone. Get the iHeartRadio app. Available from the App Store of your cell phone provider. More on that at iHeartRadio.com. And we are on Facebook. Facebook.com/BMMS69. That's where you can hang out with us each and every day. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Good morning.
Pair of tickets to see Jerry Cantrell, who will be at the Tulsa Theater this Saturday. Not just tickets, though. You will get to meet Jerry Cantrell.
Hooray!
So we'll do that at 7:30. We got best and worst of the weekend. What's the best thing that happened this weekend and the worst thing that happened this weekend? We're going to talk with the listener because they are awesome. And Jeff Hensley will join us. Do you have a question about a divorce, custody, guardianship, adoption, name change? He can answer all those questions, but you would need to get your question to us ahead of time. It's very easy to do. Show at KMOD.com. Text BMMS, whatever that is, to 82945. Or if you'd like to wait, you think you can remember, you can call at 9 when he's on. We'll accept all of those. So that'll happen again at 9 o'clock with Jeff Hensley. And our 50th anniversary concert is scheduled for April 24th at the BOK Center. Woo-hoo! Shinedown and 3 Days Grace are going to be playing the stage. Get your tickets, BOKcenter.com, BOKcenter.com. Have you seen this crazy thing the creator of Dilbert did? I didn't even know Dilbert was still a comic or newspapers even printed comics.
Right. Yeah. I'm right there with you.
And Dilbert was fine.
There's nothing special.
It was no Calvin and Hobbes.
Right.
Right.
It was no Family Circle.
Right. Circus.
Family Circus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Family Circle is something totally different.
Okay.
Yeah. Far Side was my favorite comic strip out of
Far
all.
Side was good.
Yeah.
Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah.
But Far Side was good.
Far Side was really good.
And Garfield.
Kathy didn't suck.
Oh,
Point
That's
being,
what her problem was.
you kind of look like Kathy. You
No.
Is that an insult?
Yeah.
Why?
Kathy was kind of a drab kind of gal.
Yes.
Was she?
And short and fat, if I remember correctly.
Fat?
Yeah.
I don't think she was fat.
I think so.
Yeah, she was plumpy.
Yeah.
Google her real quick,
Mama,
man.
Like a short little marshmallow.
Mama June was fat. Kathy looked like a normal human. She didn't look like she had rolls.
I'm not going to take that as a compliment.
So weird to hear, like, here was this, like, successful cartoon of a fictitious person, and Lindsay's like, huh, interesting. It's not even a real person.
That's funny.
Nonetheless, this guy says something, and I don't really care about the details, but he decides, and I guess people tune into this, is a Dilbert creator live stream.
Because that's what the world is missing.
Right.
I guess. And so he does this live stream and like talks about some poll survey thing that was done and proceeds to talk about one group of people and that makes them dangerous and stay away from them. And he does the whole, which I'm always a little leery of, not me, a poll, not me.
Right.
And then takes a giant stance and then digs in. And people are canceling his thing or whatever. First of all, who cares? It's a Dilbert cartoon.
They're canceling Dilbert now, huh? We already thought it was all canceled anyway.
And that's my point. Like, who cares? You say things, there are consequences. Whether they're true or not, or accurate or not, or that's how you really felt or not, it don't matter. But he's like, well, he even dug in and went on an interview and said something like, that was taken out of context. And I was just, doing a live stream, sharing these things. And it's not like anybody's come forward and disagreed with me. You just dug in.
Right.
You didn't go, hey, I was just talking. It's just a thing. He was like, no. And by the way, no one's disagreeing with me. It doesn't look, it's not a good look. And maybe he's just trolling. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe so. Getting a way to talk about Dilbert again.
Right.
I got to do something, man. Dilbert is down.
He's
what
fine.
Can I do? What can I do?
Dude, he's fine. What do you think his net worth is?
I was just about to look that up. Dilbert, for one, I don't know how much a comic strip creator makes, but he's been around for 35 plus years.
Oh, more than that, I think.
I'm going to say he's got at least $10 million.
Okay.
I'll say 4.
I feel like that's shooting high, though, but who knows?
Even
$75 million.
Wow.
Damn.
A syndicated
Dilbert
cartoon.
money, huh?
Yeah. You got some Dilbert cash.
Who would have thought?
wow.
Hey, man. You're syndicated in every newspaper. You have book deals. People were buying the cartoon T-shirts at Walmart.
Yeah.
People were going crazy
Yeah.
for Dilbert.
There's probably Hallmark cards or
There's absolutely those
yeah.
things. Stuffed animals, whole brand.
mm-hmm.
And again, I don't care what he said. The point is if you say something and it's shocking, you're gonna get taken to task.
Well, yeah.
Whether and it doesn't matter if it's true. Because everyone is sensitive, not just one side or the other. If you're sensitive and you want it canceled, and then you're freaking out and getting all Karen because someone's getting canceled, you're complicit in all that.
Right.
You're also being a Karen.
Yeah.
People do's what they do's. They want to say stupid things. They say stupid things.
Right.
Yeah.
There are consequences to your stupid things.
Yeah, freedom of speech isn't freedom of consequence.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm watching the news this morning, tippity tappity, drinking my coffee, and they're like, up next, we'll check and see about Dilbert and what he said and why he's getting canceled. And I was like, Dilbert?
What?
The comic? The guy who writes cartoons. If he came up to me at the airport and kicked me in the balls, I'd be like, what's this MFer doing?
Right. Short of it being Dilbert himself.
Dilbert.
Right. The actual
Yeah.
character. You wouldn't know idea. I don't know what this guy looks like. I've never seen the face of really any comic strip writer at all whatsoever.
No.
Mike Judge.
Okay. What comic strips did he write?
Okay. Comics.
Okay.
Not comic strip.
Right.
Because it's not 1980, but yeah. Is there someone who's like, I'm going to be a comic strip maker?
Well, I'm sure somebody's like reading the Sunday funnies and like, I could do this.
Mhm.
It's like a political cartoonist, like somebody makes that one frame political cartoon thing that used to be in the newspaper.
Mhm.
You accidentally get into that, right? That's not like you don't go, I'll show you, Dad. I'm going to be the best political cartoonist ever. I don't
Definitely.
think that's a thing.
No, it's an accident.
You're an artist and they're like, that's pretty funny. Would you like to make one for our newspaper?
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. What you pay me?
$1,000. Hells yeah.
Done.
Mhm.
I got to make one a week.
Right. All I got
Yeah.
to do is draw,
Yeah.
put some funny words in there with it.
And so comic strips, are you just like bored? And I don't know this guy's story. Are you just bored at work and you're like, I'll just make a story about working in a cubicle with a pudgy guy
Right.
and circle glasses. And you just do it and you're like, man, that's funny.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a friend who works at the newspaper. I'm going to show him. Hey, my dad works at the newspaper. I'll show him. This is funny, man. We should post it. Hey, did you see the Sacramento Times got this new comic? It's so funny. Yeah. Why is it in the Sacramento Times? We're Dallas.
All right.
That's the conversation. You know what happened. Well, get him. Well, I guess I can give it to you too
Mhm.
for $75 million.
Oh,
And the next thing you know,
Yeah.
it's worldwide.
And then he's constantly having to write, man. I feel like this statement has been made. I can't start my day until I read Dilbert.
oh,
good
boy.
God.
Have my coffee, read Dilbert. I feel like I've heard that said.
I'm sure somebody somewhere has said that.
And do my crossword.
Mm. Mm-mm.
No, crosswords are at night.
Mm.
And,
Right,
and on
it's
Saturday or
just winding
Sunday.
down, yeah.
Yeah, that's a wind down. You don't have time for a crossword on the day before you're going to work.
You know, he's got days where he's got writer's block. I say it questionably because, I mean, you are writing essentially.
He's
but-
not us. He's not writing tomorrow's today.
right.
Right? He's working well in advance.
Yeah.
I got to get this to the paper. I just don't know what I'm going to do. What am I going to do? What am I
Yeah.
gonna do?
Shut up, Sally. Sends it in.
Perfect.
Man, Dilbert sure has had a lot of potlucks at work. Yeah, he's in writer's block.
Yeah, right.
Lots of pizza parties.
Just trying to find the inspiration.
All the things going on in the world and the big Dilbert story is what's got my attention.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Norman damn near blew off the state yesterday. And I'm like, Dilbert, you say?
Yeah.
Crazy. Old man Dilbert has some crazy old man riffs. That's the other part, too, is like, how old is he?
The creator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I look at it and I'm like, okay, not that it's a pass.
Right. But it's kind of understandable, you know.
It's
that's
not
how they-
understandable. You just go, well, yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Old man, he's 65.
He does not want to progress with times.
Mm-hmm.
He just wants to be stuck in the way, the good old days.
Right. It's just the way it's always been. My dad was like it. My dad's dad was like it.
Sure. I was just watching a video with Lindsay,
Mm.
and it was some kid, and he was yelling at his teacher, or whatever, like yelling at his, like in the teacher's face. Had to have been maybe a sophomore, junior,
Yeah.
maybe. And it was just some, younger, not younger, shorter looking man of another ethnicity. And the guy's like, the kid is in his face, like, what are you going to do? Like yelling at him.
Mm-hmm.
Then he starts, and Lindsay's like, what's he doing? Ah, he's a child acting like a child,
Right.
throwing a tantrum for some ridiculous reason.
Mm.
And then he starts picking up the trash can and dumping it on the in the classroom floor and going, pick up your room. Yeah, he's emulating his dad. That's happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he knows how to handle confrontation.
Oh.
So that's what we do. You're right. Like, my dad was a racist, his dad was a racist, and I'm a racist.
Mm. Just runs in the family.
But it's not racism because that's what we've always done.
Well, nobody's disagreeing with me.
Right? Right, because no one wants none of that smoke, man.
Mhm. You're like, "Ugh, I'm just trying to live my life.
Yeah. You walk in the grocery store, you bump shoulders with somebody.
Mhm.
Typically, you go, oh, man, sorry.
Yeah. Excuse me.
My bad. Yeah.
You say something out of context, you're like, all right, dig in, hold the line.
Right.
What's the matter? I misspoke. I'm being stupid.
Yeah, you got to stand your ground. People don't want to be proven wrong. Or
But you
whatever.
are wrong.
Yeah.
Even if you're right, you're wrong.
I
What's
know.
it matter?
I know it. People don't want to feel it.
What's it matter to dig in on that? It's not like they're like, Dilbert's the worst comic ever and insulting years of your work.
Right.
Mhm.
That would be warranted.
I would be like, all right, yeah, no, he's defending the honor of his work.
Mhm.
Sure.
I don't agree that that's the thing you defend in terms of Dilbert, but whatever. You worked hard your whole life. It's built your empire.
Yeah,
Sure.
$75 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Protecting your domicile. Sure. Sure. I get that. Dig in. What you said on a YouTube stream?
Well, I'm sure there's other people out there that feel the same as I do. And
That's
it's for
literally
me,
what he said.
Uh-huh.
It's for me and it's for them. It's
Yeah. And maybe you're right. Maybe there are those people, and that's who he was talking to. And there's a cover up of, we don't want everybody. I don't know. How hard is it to just go, I'm stupid?
Uh-huh.
No, man, I'm not stupid. You're stupid.
Yeah, we're all stupid.
Mm,
We all don't know anything.
truth.
And to me, it's the ones that act like they know everything are the ones to look out for.
Mhm.
Amen to that.
Right? Amen. Indeed. Funny. It's funny, man. Dilbert, Monday morning headline.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah, not me. Not me. If they would have said, Jughead's in trouble, I'd have been like, oh, okay.
Oh no.
Sure.
Not Archie.
Did Dagwood get a sandwich? I don't understand. He's just trying to put his feet up and eat a sandwich.
That's it.
Is Mr. Wilson at it again? Right? These are all the same time frame.
Mm.
All right, we got tickets to Jerry Cantrell with Meet and Greet. We're going to do that coming up. Plus, we got Best and Worst of the Weekend. Our listeners are awesome. Jeff Hensley will join us. We'll take a break and we'll be back.
The Big morning show
We're good for about the first year or so.
Mhm.
And then people are like, okay. And maybe people are going to show up and watch. And then after a while, like, all right, enough's enough.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like the ass kicking is the pick.
However, what if the ass kicking is so bad that one day you're getting your ass kicked and it causes internal bleeding and you don't even know it, and then you end up dying from the ass
Well,
kicking?
then your ass beating is done because it's for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And they're going to jail for murder at that point.
But you're dead.
So will they be.
Ooh,
And insurance
then-
premium. Come
yeah.
on. It's all good. Right? To me, there's just too much logistics with the ass kicking every day. And you're going to go to jail and get your ass kicked every day.
True statement.
Maybe not.
There's a good chance you're going to have to change who you are as an individual to go to jail for 2 years. You're going to have to jeopardize your virtues.
Either way, something is happening with your ass.
If you've heard me talk about jacuzzis, butt soup,
Yeah. You're not a fan.
they're disgusting. Well, the CDC has issued a statement about them because of the high infection bacteria that is in public jacuzzis. E. coli, lots of vowels and stuff in these words that I'm not going to say. Pathogens can cause gut infections, diarrhea, septicemia, skin infections, urinary tract infections, Legionnaire's disease. Legionella bacteria are particularly found in water droplets within the hot tub steam, and inhaling them the contained steam can lead to development of life-threatening pneumonia.
Huh.
Just being in the room, that's how bad they are. But listen to this. And I knew this, but they explain it a little differently. The CD says that if you want to enjoy a hot tub or jacuzzi, there is a way to telling if it's safe or not.
Okay.
And there are clear signs of a germ-filled jacuzzi when urine and other bodily fluids, such as sweat, mix in with the chlorine used to disinfect jacuzzis. It creates an irritant and a pungent chemical called chloramine, which is what causes sore eyes when swimming in pools.
Right.
The more bathers that deposit their bodily fluids, the stronger the smell of chloramine, which smells like bleach. And the greater the likelihood the spa or hotel jacuzzi has low levels of disinfectant and high levels of bacteria. So if the hot tub smells really strong, the chances are not safe. Even if the water looks clean and clear, it's also worth noting that the water does become murkier the longer it goes without chemicals.
So anytime you've gone to the public pool or the
Well, this
water
says
park-
jacuzzi specifically.
Okay, okay.
So,
'cause-
but we're jumping to that, but I hear you.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone to some and I'm like, dude, it reeks of bleach. I didn't know that it was because of all the pee-pee in the pool. I know that's what causes your eyes to burn, but I didn't know it would smell worse. Right? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So like my family went to Great Wolf Lodge last year. If you've ever been there, it is like you're getting LASIK. That's how strong it is.
Yeah.
Right.
It's horrible.
Yeah, how many kids are around?
Yeah.
Yeah, dirty ass
Yeah.
kids. Nasty.
And you multiply, let's just take half those people have bubble guts.
Yeah.
And if that feel like I'm being dramatic, let's just go with a quarter.
Mhm.
Right. Right. Just because they got the Bee Gees doesn't mean that they're pooping in the pool, but they be tooting it up. They be making their own jacuzzi, and that's
Ugh.
leaving particles
Yeah.
floating around.
Not everybody has a bidet.
And as you go under the water, you splash it all out. You got some in your mouth.
Right? Yeah.
Look, I'm a fountain.
Or it's in your beard, and then you go to eat some of those delicious French fries.
Yeah. You got it on your hands. You start licking
Yeah,
your fingers
yeah.
afterwards.
Gross. I love useless information.
Oh, yeah.
I'm constantly on the hunt for it. And the amount of useless things I cultivate and put to the side and never use is endless. And then when it's time to recall it, I'm like, I know a thing. So these are some of those. I don't know. Have you ever been to the park and fed the ducks or the geese or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you take?
bread, crackers,
Bread, right?
or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, whatever's left over in the pantry about to expire.
Sour
Yeah.
cream and onion chips or bugles or whatever.
Well, apparently giving bread to ducks is really bad for them because it ruins their digestive system.
Yeah.
So you're killing ducks.
It's like, I don't care.
So now when you go and you see that, just laugh that those people are killing ducks. So this one's a little deep, so bear with me. Control, Shift, and T will restore an accidentally closed tab. So if you've ever been on your computer and a tab closes, Control, Shift, and T will bring that tab back.
Well, that's fun.
And Control, Alt, Shift, T will bring back a window you accidentally closed.
Huh. Well, that's a lot to be pressing at one time.
For you, yes.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Well, that's fun to know because there's been plenty of times that I'll be buzzing around and accidentally hit the X button and it closes everything. And I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
I got to start all over again. Okay. Control Shift T.
Yeah. I mean, if you close the program, you're probably out of luck. But this one I learned not too long ago. But antiperspirant and deodorant are not the same thing. Antiperspirant stops you from sweating. Deodorant covers up the smell of sweating.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer?
I don't wear it.
At all? Right. You Mr. Stinky Pits all day, every day, huh?
I mean, I don't stink.
Okay. I guess it helps to do something.
I don't stink.
Even after when you're rolling around.
No, I mean, if I'm like doing yard work or, sweating it up, yes, of course.
I have to put deodorant on every day. And if I don't, because there's been times that I forget, I've had to go and buy a small little travel size stick for here because I'm like, I feel weird. I feel weird without any on. And then I feel like I can smell it.
Do you shave your armpit hair?
I trim. I don't shave.
Right. Yeah.
I don't shave bald down like a lady or whatever. But yeah, I knock that stuff down. But yeah, that seems to be a trend nowadays where ladies are letting it grow out like man length armpit hairs and like dyeing it or just letting it be.
Dyeing it.
And I find that the most disgusting thing ever.
I don't think that's common.
I don't think it is either. I think maybe it's like a handful of people.
Okay.
Some people are doing it. I didn't learn until like in my 40s to trim my armpit hair.
Oh, absolutely. You have to. You get all poking out like you got buckwheat in a headlock.
No one ever told me.
Or shave down yonder.
I've talked about that.
Trim that as well. You stink name.
Yeah, it looks like an abandoned house. Yeah. Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. 918-460-KMOT. One of my favorite arguments got sent in. Everyone being sensitive is a prime example of the pussification of America. Do you remember duels?
Yeah.
People have been offended forever, man. News quickies are stories you may have missed in the news, and we cover them here and put a link on our Facebook page.
It's time for News Quickies, world news, local news, and news that just makes you say, what the Now here's Corbin, Gimpy, and Lindsay with what's going on. News Quickies from the Big Man Morning Show at 97.5 KMOD.
Passenger on Alaska-bound ferry caught with meth burritos. A passenger who boarded an Alaska-bound ferry from Bellingham, Washington, has been arrested for attempting to smuggle a hefty amount of tortilla-wrapped meth. Court documents state that an Alaska state trooper received a tip about the passenger bringing at least 10 pounds of methamphetamine from Oregon to Alaska. The trooper contacted police in Ketchikan, where a search warrant was granted for the passenger's room last Friday. Police found a duffel bag with over 20 pounds of meth wrapped in tortillas, like burritos, that were valued around $1 million. Once they got the passenger, 43-year-old Michael Davis of Oregon, into custody, he came clean and told them where the meth was headed. So the very next day, undercover agents followed a duffel bag. They set this whole sting operation up, and a Nissan came through to pick up the duffel bag, where they met Nanette Brown. And they followed Nanette Brown to a neighbor's apartment, carrying a multicolored bag. Police say it contained 2 ammo boxes, one with nearly $70,000 in cash, the other with more than half a pound of meth and roughly 150 pills thought to contain fentanyl. Police arrested Nanette and searched her home. According to court documents, they found 9 guns and other cache of meth. The Browns are facing 2 felony drug charges and a felony weapons charge. Both the Browns and Michael Davis have pleaded not guilty. They're due for court hearings in the upcoming weeks. So they said that this is the biggest drug bust that they've seen in the past 3 or 4 years in Juneau, Alaska.
Yeah, I mean, people are trying to get drugs in there. Sure.
Mhm.
I'm looking because I was trying. It's a 6-hour ride
On the
Okay.
ferry.
on the.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this I'm just looking. It ain't cheap.
All right.
Like it's anywhere between $800 to $1,000.
Damn.
Wow.
That's one expensive ferry.
And it looks to be the size of a cruise ship, the boat,
Yeah, fair
They
because they
stop,
put
yeah.
cars and stuff on it.
Mhm.
Ah.
and
Okay.
rooms. And
Well, I don't know if there's rooms.
yeah, they searched his room.
Huh?
Yeah.
Like in his house?
No, like on the
Like
boat.
On the boat.
Mhm.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. I guess those extended trips, sure, you might
It's
want
6
a
hours.
place to stay. I'm sure that's not the only place that ferry goes. Surely. Why else would you need a room on a ferry?
That's my point.
Woman accused of pulling a gun at McDonald's drive-thru over a cookie. So there's this gal, she's 24. Her name is Amari Hendricks. She goes to her local McDonald's at like 11:30 in the morning and gets pissed at the drive-thru worker because they didn't talk to her about their rewards program. So she gets all bent out of shape and demands a free cookie. And so they're arguing with the drive-thru employee. Manager comes by. She starts arguing with the manager. The manager gives her a free cookie, but she was still very, very upset. So she pulls out her gun, puts a magazine in, racks the slides. So she's like ready to shoot. Anyhow, hell, all right. Employees scatter, try to lock the doors. She pulls around, ends up making her way into the McDonald's. When she does that, she grabs one dude employee, throws him to the ground, and then starts hitting him a few times. The police were eventually called out and came out. They talked to her, and she's like, I've got a concealed carry license, but she denied brandishing the weapon, of course. They ended up popping her for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, aggravated battery, resisting, improper exhibition of a firearm, and battery causing bodily harm.
She got the cookie.
That's what I
Well,
said.
what does she want?
Prove the point. It's not the cookie.
right.
Yeah.
It's the principle of the matter.
Mhm.
Over a rewards program
Right.
because she wasn't asked about it.
Right.
Any other time, I'm like, I don't care about your rewards program. Give me my food and let us go.
Yeah.
She's like, no, hold me up in this line even
Yeah.
longer.
He's like, I got 30 seconds to eat these fries. Let me go.
She's like, no, talk to me about my car warranty.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Stand-up comedian wanted for subway shooting. This happens in New York. Cops don't think it's very funny, but they are looking for a stand-up comedian in connection with the subway shooting. Detectives say 30-year-old Marcus Coffersey shot another man twice when they got into a fight on a train last month. The suspect performs under the name Leo Coffersey. He was scheduled to perform at a comedy club near Times Square Saturday night, but the venue changed the bill after police named him as a suspect. Apparently, him and his girl was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and they got in an argument with somebody else who was waiting for the subway, and got mad, pulled out his gun, shot him like 3 times. The guy's gonna live, but I think his career might be over. He's gonna his circuit is gonna be a little smaller.
Right.
Absolutely.
A lot of private shows.
Yeah, his residency is gonna be about 6 to 10
You're right.
now instead of just being every other Thursday.
Right.
All these stories are on our Facebook page at facebook.com/BMMS69.
Tulsa's morning show continues next. The Big Mad Morning Show on Tulsa's Rock Station.
A sheet because I'm not trying to win.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to not breathe under the sheet because the sheet moves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Easily found.
Where would you hide, Lindsay? If you were this guy, where would you hide?
Probably in a closet
That's the first place they're gonna look.
or under a bed.
Second place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not in a sheet.
Under.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, if he's looking to take a nap, I mean, maybe they were Egyptian cotton and they looked really comfy.
Gimpy, where would you hide?
in a trash can. Not like in the small trash can in the kitchen, but no, in a dumpster outside.
Ooh.
I think it's big enough to fit a body in. Probably one of the last places they're going to look. Maybe, I don't know. I try not to run from the police, but I do remember watching Cops. He tries to hide under the kiddie pool and they kick it over and they find him every time.
Yeah, because they know to look there.
Yeah.
I think you got to hide in plain sight. My best hiding spots when we play hide and seek in the house is in plain sight.
Lampshade on your head?
Well, not like standing in the wide open,
Right.
Yeah.
but I have stood behind a curtain.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Right?
They don't think to look for the shoes under the curtain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're kids.
Exactly.
They run right past you.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
Yep.
Got to think like a child. On the podcast, we mentioned one thing is added to a news story. It changes the dynamic of a story. It makes it way more intense, regardless if it's a news story or a story your friend's telling you.
Mhm.
One factor has to do with feces will change the dynamic of a story. I have found another one that changes the dynamic of a story.
Really? Non-poop related, huh?
Non-poop related.
All right, then.
So the headline, I'm leaving out the crazy part. I'm leaving out part of the crazy. 2 kids killed after a bus driver crashes into a daycare.
Oh, damn, that sucks.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
I've got the factor added to any story makes it more crazy.
Okay.
2 kids killed after totally naked bus driver crashes into daycare.
Totally naked, huh? That will change any story.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Man robbed McDonald's. Okay. Naked man robs McDonald's.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it really paints a picture for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah. I woke up in the middle of the night. Somebody was pounding on the door to my house.
Oh no.
Yes. It was freaky. I didn't know what to do. I woke up in the middle of the night. There was a naked man pounding on the door to my house.
Definitely different.
It lands different, doesn't it?
Yes.
My ex would get so crazy. She'd get drunk and she would run around screaming, right? Yelling at everybody.
Yeah.
My ex, she would get so drunk, she'd get naked and run around screaming.
Mm-hmm.
I had this
It's
friend in
different.
college, man. If he got a good test score, he would celebrate, man.
Yeah.
Get really drunk,
Oh, yeah.
right? Yell, scream, throw stuff out his dorm room window. Right? It's fine.
Yeah.
Seemingly, yeah.
I had this friend in college. If he did really good on a test score, he'd go celebrate, get real drunk, naked, run around, throw stuff out his window.
Yeah.
It literally does.
It does.
That and the other.
And feces.
Yeah.
You add feces to any headline, you go, oh, hey.
Mhm.
Naked, you hear it, you're like, yeah, man, get it together. In a courtroom, man pleads not guilty to murder.
Right.
Yeah. A naked man pleads not guilty to murder. You're like, why was he naked?
Yeah, how did he get naked in the courtroom? I mean, I guess you could have started off with your clothes on and they got naked, but I feel you would have been stopped about, I don't know. You get your shirt off. You get your shirt off, and that's when I feel the bailiff is going to be like, hey.
Yeah. 2 Florida paramedics suspended after pronouncing a live man dead. 2 West Central Florida paramedics. This happened on a Wednesday in Clearwater Fire and Rescue. They were placed on administrative duty. WTSP TV reported the incident first. The paramedics from Station 47 responded to a call about a 65-year-old man in cardiac arrest. This happened at his private residence, and they showed up. The responders pronounced the man dead shortly after their arrival. Clearwater Fire and Rescue said in a statement, they left the area once deputies from the sheriff's office arrived to investigate. And according to the news release, a deputy noticed the patient was breathing and requested medical crews to return to the scene. Then Largo fire rescue crews were called and reached the scene about 28 minutes later. And the man was then transmitted to a hospital where he's recovering, according to another TV outlet. Upon notification of the incident, the Clearwater Fire and Rescue team immediately removed both fire medics from their normal duties and discontinued their abilities to provide patient care in conjunction with the county's medical director. They said, on behalf of the city, I apologize for the actions.
No, they're real sorry.
And
My
the
bad.
and the inactions of our crew during this incident. He said, we have strict policies and procedures in place that were not followed. According to our preliminary review, these two did not perform to the standard of care that our citizens expect and deserve.
They have to say that. They can't
Right.
say they did everything according to code.
Yeah,
Right.
They can't,
because they didn't.
because then everyone's going to be put under scrutiny. They've got to put it on those two people.
Mhm.
But I can't imagine they showed up with, like, eating a Slim Jim and a big gulp going, yeah, he ain't moving. He looks dead. Maybe they didn't, but I'm assuming they showed up, followed the protocols. I don't know, put 2 fingers on the neck. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever those protocols are.
Mirror underneath the nose. He ain't breathing. He's got to be dead.
You're there. You call 911. Paramedics show up, and they just do 2 fingers under the throat, which is not a correct way to check to see if someone's alive, by the way. And they're like, yeah, they're dead. Do you, watching your loved one in this peril moment, who have called the people to save their life, go, yo, man,
Yeah.
do your job? Like, do you
You're not
get into it?
satisfied.
Well, of course not. But do you get into an aggressive confrontation over the
You assume that they're doing their job right.
I think so, right?
You would just be like, well, I guess Tom's dead. They said he's dead. I got to take your word for it.
Did they put the thing on the finger
Mm.
and it didn't make any noise? And they were like, yeah, I put new batteries in it yesterday.
Right.
Right.
Well, my thing was, if they are an ambulance, and why weren't they taking the body themselves?
Ambulances don't take bodies.
Oh,
They transport to the hospital
okay. Why weren't they doing that then?
because they said it was dead.
It just all seems so weird. Like,
When a body's dead,
Yeah.
they don't take it to the hospital.
I beg to differ. They took my mom to the hospital.
Did they?
St. John's.
But were they trying to save her on the
No,
way?
she was already dead. She was dead. Dead.
The two experiences
Dead.
the 2 experiences that I have had with dead
Mhm.
people
Mhm.
who have died in a home.
Yeah.
The ambulance comes, they don't take the body.
Yeah, when my mom died, I got the calls. We was on 21st and they lived on 21st and shared anyhow. So I get to the house and the ambulance is backed up in the driveway and they got her on the gurney, putting her in the back of the ambulance, taking her to the hospital. She's already pronounced dead.
It feels like an extra trip to take them to the hospital.
I don't know.
well, that's where the morgue.
It's not at the hospital. The hospital has a morgue.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know how it works out.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with my dad too. My dad died at the house and they picked him up, took him to the hospital, and that's where we got to say our final goodbyes.
Yeah.
So,
and
mhm.
I don't know. It's like, do you check? Maybe they check the ID. It's like, are they a organ donor? Maybe that's why you take the body to the hospital. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how that works out.
And so, again, I'm not an EMT. So,
Mhm.
like, you're an EMT, they die, you go, all right, where's their wallet? I got to check their ID to see if they're an organ donor. How does that work?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think you let the people at the hospital deal with it. Like, we're just here to drop the body off. Y'all figure it out.
And is there a code? Like, they call in, like, do they do lights? If they're taking a dead body to the hospital, do they run code to the hospital?
Right, lights and sirens and the whole nine.
Yeah. I would think not. It's
Probably
not an
not.
emergency.
Right.
Exactly.
But if they're an organ donor, time is of the essence on those things.
Uh-huh.
Right.
They have a shelf life.
I call this day spa or dispensary.
Ooh.
Okay. So basically, I've got some businesses. These are legit businesses in Tulsa.
Oh, fun.
It's either a day spa or a dispensary.
Okay.
Now, based off the name, you're going to chime in with and that's how you're going to buzz in. Corbin or Lindsay.
Okay.
Got
You
it.
get one shot and one shot only because this is a 50-50
Don't I know it?
chance. There's no point in,
Mhm.
hey, would you like to guess, Lindsay? He said it's a
Yeah.
dispensary. No, it's a day. So you only get one shot.
Okay.
Whoever wins at the end, I got a big prize for you. Okay.
Like
Okay.
a little nug, maybe?
Mm,
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Maybe.
God knows you
Trip to a
have
day
plenty.
spa?
Right. So, day spa or dispensary, are you guys ready?
Ready.
All right, we're going to take it up from the top here. Euphora. Corbin, yes.
That's a spa.
Euphora is a dispensary. No points for anybody on that one. All right. Nirvana, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin would be correct.
Come on, Lindsay.
You got to get in the game, woman. Get in the game. All right. Omni Oasis, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Day spa.
Day spa is correct. So far, we're tied 1-1. La Fusion, day spa or dispensary? La Fusion.
Corbin. Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. I'm totally going to rob Lindsay of one of her stories because it's such sports stories because this is such a crazy thing. Manny Machado agreed to an 11-year, $350 million contract extension
Damn.
with the Padres. He already had a deal he got in 2019, a 10-year, $300 million contract. And he had a player option in that contract for this winter. He made it clear last week he fully intended to use it. So now he is under contract until 2034. Well, he'll be 41 years old. The chance of him finishing the contract is probably not going to happen. But inking him to the deal is clearly worth it for San Diego to keep him off the market. So that's all this move is to keep him from going somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
He finished second in National League MVP voting last season for the Padres. And the general manager says Machado is an aggressive player, and they still want to sign another big star. The Padres this year have given out over $1 billion in contracts.
Damn. So I thought he was doing it as like job security. At least he knows he's not going anywhere for the next 11 years. And he's making bank off of it.
Yeah, who doesn't want that, right? But you got this other side that also has to be like, yeah, we don't want him going anywhere.
Right.
That's what makes it so insane. And then he just signed a deal.
Yeah.
And they still got him for $350 million.
Over 11 years.
He could break his arm and get at least half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So why do you say that it's likely he won't finish out his
Just
contract?
age.
Oh, okay.
Just
41,
age.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of wear and tear on the body, man.
Yeah, I can
That many games every year in and out. And they're also, crushing it in the off season.
Right.
It's not like he's sitting on his couch eating potato chips.
Right.
He could,
Yeah, right.
right? But most of those guys in modern sports times are slaying it in the off season as well.
Right, just to keep up on it.
Yeah.
So when they come back around, they're
Right.
not all...
There's arguments that spring training and things like that are pointless now because guys are training all year round.
That makes sense, I guess, but whatever. What do I know?
So good on him. Could be a
Yeah.
good Christmas in the Machado house.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Or St. Patrick's Day.
St. Arbor Day.
Every day.
Exactly.
Even he's got that much, dude. He still has to play all those. Like, he isn't getting to enjoy all that money.
Right.
Not yet.
He's
Not
got
until
nice
41.
clothes. He's got nice clothes,
Right.
Yeah.
but still he's not going to be able to enjoy it.
His wife and kids are enjoying it more than he is.
For sure.
If I was consulting the lifestyle of a major sports athlete, I'd be like, don't get married.
Right.
Don't get married. Unless you just want arm candy at the occasional event, don't do it. Because you can't have you're not really
Right.
participating.
Right. Constantly on the road, constantly practicing, constantly playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no happy time there.
Well, there isn't like a traditional whatever. If your idea of marriage is I'm never there,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
then I guess, yeah, go ahead.
Live
but-
more like the Leo DiCaprio lifestyle.
Okay. But he doesn't have an excuse. Like he goes films for, 2 months and then
Sure.
he doesn't have to do anything again.
Right.
Baseball players are playing from February until October.
Yeah.
So you only get a few months of enjoyment. Just a lot of money that you're giving to other people.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you have, Lindsay?
Tommy Fury has handed YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul his first career defeat. Fury beat Paul via split decision in a bout that went the full 8 rounds in Saudi Arabia yesterday. Fury, who is the younger brother of heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, was knocked down in the 8th round, but won the battle on the scorecards in the end. The judges scored the fight 74-75. 76-73 and 76-73 in favor of Fury. Paul will likely use the rematch clause in his contract after disputing the results after the fight. Paul said that he believes the fans deserve that rematch. And then I saw.
I watched it, by the way.
Yeah.
Fury handled him.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought so.
Handled him. He did get knocked down, but Jake Paul, we just saw in this type of matchup we haven't seen yet, a real technical fighter. He just has power. That's all he has.
Mhm.
When he goes against someone that's all he does is box, he totally got caught a couple times for sure, but ultimately whooped him.
Right.
Yeah.
And Fury got deducted some points for some crazy things. So it really wasn't that close.
Mm.
Yeah. Didn't they both lose a point at one time?
I don't think so. I thought Fury got it for clinching and for grabbing.
And then I saw a report that there was a Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury script leaked online.
Yeah.
And it said that there were some examples of the fighters start off cautiously circling each other in round one. And some of the things that happened did actually happen in the fight. And then they said now that this is completely false. It is totally
Of course
fake.
it is.
Yeah, because there were some problems with it, saying that the inconsistencies there, but the document was produced by Troop Boxing, which doesn't seem to actually exist. And the word boxing in the Troop's logo is a stock image from the internet. They were just completely debunking it, basically.
Even wrestling
Mhm.
that is scripted
Mhm.
isn't scripted.
Right.
Right? They only have a couple things they try to do,
Yeah.
but they're still getting hit with chairs.
Yeah.
So why would you sacrifice yourself in that way? I don't know. To me, the narrative of football's a script and boxing's a script is like
Right.
you're just being a giant poor loser.
Yeah, for sure. The first day of Major League Baseball spring training action brought a taste of what's to come with the new pitch clock rules. Saturday's spring opener between the Atlanta Braves and the Boston Red Sox ended in a 6-6 tie, but it wasn't without controversy and confusion. In the ninth inning, the Braves had scored 3 runs and had bases loaded with 2 outs. Kel Conley was up to the plate with a 3-2 count and thought he'd taken ball 4 to walk in the winning run. It wasn't to be, however, because Conley wasn't set in the batter's box as the new pitch clock would down to under 8 seconds. That is an automatic strike, and a third one at that. In spring training, they don't play extra innings, so the game ended in a tie, and we have to get used to scenarios like this as teams get acclimated to the new rules.
Just figure it out, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That is like people up in arms
Mhm.
are not seeing that that's the reason why they're instituting it.
Right.
Because he was stalling. Now, maybe that's his routine or whatever, but it's still a stall tactic.
Yeah.
Get in there, get set, the pitch is coming.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, strike on you.
Exactly. And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Great taste.
And we're just team trying to make the thing happen. And, it's an honor to be a part of the Ford Truck Series and anything I can do to make this Hilton Hotel team do the best I can.
Well, Corbin, I'm glad that you accepted and decided to give your prize of potatoes to the loser of the game, but that's not all that you're going to win. All right. So not only do you get my leftover dinner from last night, my potatoes and a little bit of steak with some cheese on top, I'm also going to hook you up with a 6-pack of Twisted Tea.
Oh.
Set right up front because nobody wants this. So
Yeah.
I grabbed a pack and you get
Yeah.
to take it home with
Again, you put
Twisted
zero
Tea.
effort into the prize.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just real grateful that this Hilton Honors team did the best they could and we'll make sure part of the Ford Truck Series continues. So I'd like to give it to my second place. His second isn't winning. So
All right.
Twisted Tea is a great beer fridge for guests.
Right, right.
item.
Well, congratulations, Lindsay. You got yourself some old mushed potatoes and some warm Twisted Tea for losing on Day Spa or Dispensary.
this says I'm about to get divorced from my wife of 10 years because I made a stupid mistake and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to the bar, slept with some woman, and almost immediately the guilt took over me. She has told me it's over, but I have to try. What can I do to get her to give our marriage a second chance? 918-460-KMOD. Bmms. Then whatever you think he should do to 82945. Let's entertain the idea. What are some things he could do? How about a vacation?
Ooh.
You and me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to some beautiful exotic place and talk out my inability to keep my penis in my pants.
Yeah.
Having kids usually fixes that
Some
situation.
Yeah.
that maybe if you're lucky, you'll get to do that.
Vacations are nice. Absolutely.
Can you work on a
But-
problem on a vacation, Lindsay?
I don't think so. Because
This
once
isn't a
you get
problem. This is a
back-
crack in the foundation.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Because once you get back, everything's right there, you know? Yeah.
What are some other
And-
things he could try?
I think he
Entertain the
begs,
idea.
goes
No bad
on
ideas.
hands and knees and
Begs?
begs. What do you want me to? I will do anything you want me to do.
Yeah. Horrible way to get into a conversation with somebody, right? And this is why. Because you want to fix it, you have to come up with ideas. Not me.
Mm-hmm.
You want to fix it.
Mhm.
Why do I have to tell you how to fix your problem?
Mm-hmm.
Not just this, any scenario. If you have to go to the person and be like, tell me what I have to do to fix it's a horrible way to.
That's
That's not
good
enough.
and great. A vacation or a giant elephant in the room. Sure. I'll go your money on me so I can go and feel better.
Expects from him. Wants her to
Come
do
on,
what-
Lindsay.
Yeah,
Come
no.
on. Come on, Lindsay.
Taking
Come on,
her-
Lindsay.
What?
What he expects of her.
What?
Don't have
she
sex with
wants him
other
to do.
people.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what the expectation is.
Absolutely. He's done the day.
So what do we're just talking. Commit to
Yeah.
an idea, Lindsay.
Yeah. So going on vacation, sure, it's nice, but now he gets to go on a vacation too. If I want to go on a vacation with you right now,
Hall pass. You want a crazy idea? Give her a hall pass.
there,
Give
yeah.
her an opportunity to even Stevens this thing.
Mhm. And she doesn't have to tell him about it ever.
Well, no, she knows about his, so I feel like it has
It's
to be
only
even.
fair, yeah.
If it's even, it's even.
No.
Why do you not get to tell anybody?
Maybe she doesn't even take him up on it.
Yeah. Usually works.
Hey, usually does.
Yeah.
Withholding information.
Yeah. People have already texted him what my feelings are on this. To me, it's quite clear. But they are asking.
Yeah.
Right? They are going, what's some scenario? What's a scenario? What is a possibility? Brandon is on. Hey, Brandon, how are you?
Good, how y'all?
Good. What do you think?
From a person who's been cheated on multiple times, I say the damage has already been done. But if he wants to win over, they've been married 10 years. Renew your vows. Make new vows. Tell her you're committed to her and only her. You know, just go and renew your vows. That might win her over. You never know.
Right, a mulligan.
Right.
Yeah, pull a mulligan.
Yeah.
Pull that mulligan card. Pull it all day long.
You said that you've been cheated on multiple times, Brandon. Would that have worked with you?
No, because I stayed with someone who cheated on me 9 times.
Whoa.
Are you
But
blind? Are you blind?
Well, I lived 7.5 hours away from my family at the time, so I was kind of forced just to stick around because I was in a state I didn't know. I wasn't from that state, so I stuck around and rode out the roller coaster. His excuse on work, and he got lonely.
So this is your boyfriend.
Yeah, it was my ex.
Yeah.
But when he said that, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I took the call around midnight when he was drunk, took the call, and I left and never looked back.
Had to rip that Band-Aid, huh?
I just left. I was done.
Wait, that was the 7th time.
Yeah. And then
And then you
took the
came
call
back.
Took the call back because I was like, oh, maybe you changed. And the 9th time was finally the draw.
For him I'm just being really honest. Him cheating 9 times, do you blame him or yourself?
I blame myself for being blinded by love.
But it wasn't.
Stupidity.
No, it wasn't, though.
No. It was not my fault, but I mean, I kept going back,
No, it's
so
your fault. It wasn't love.
It was my own stupidity trying to think I can change someone.
Right. Hope. Well, it was
You can't
hope.
be
You were
changed.
hoping.
Mhm.
You were hoping he'd
Well,
love
yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Brandon, have a great day, man.
You too.
All right. See you later.
These texts are good.
Scott is on. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, buddy. What do you think?
Let's be real. I love some of the comments, and you guys especially, but let's be real. You're not going to be able to give her a hall pass because we as men are never going to forget that. We're never going to stop dwelling on it.
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. What do you have, Lindsay?
So apparently Cocaine Bear did better than expected in its opening weekend and brought in almost $24 million. And because of that...
Cocaine sales are up.
Do they track those?
No, but because of that, there is now a cheesy knockoff in the works called Attack of the Meth Gator, coming this summer. Most likely straight to DVD or on demand.
Won't work.
Right.
Yeah.
The whole lure of Cocaine Bear is that it really happened.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
I mean, it's possible that they were trafficking meth and a gator got a hold of it and
Sure.
got all twackered out, started stealing, catalytic converters and stuff. I mean, it's possible.
Right. But what's scary about an alligator with no teeth?
I don't know. What is
You know,
scarier?
I don't
than-
know.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
She's
You
not
know.
setting up a
Sorry, I thought you
joke.
were setting up.
Right.
Sounded like it, though.
Gimpy.
Man, there's still time to join our Crawl for Cancer team. It's that day that we spend drinking all afternoon in hopes for cancer research is what we're doing it for. Anyhow, hit the contest page, KMOD.com.
All right, we do best and worst of the weekend. What's the best thing that happened this weekend and the worst thing that happened this weekend? 918-460-KMOD is the phone number. You can also text BMMS and then whatever that is to 82945. Best and worst of the weekend. Lindsay.
So the best. Saturday, the twins went over to a friend's for a sleepover. And Kevin had to work late until 9. So it was just me and Marcus at home. And I was like, dude, what do you want to do? We should go do something. Just the two of us. What should we do? So he and I decided we were going to go hang out at the mall and go see what the mall offered us. I hadn't been to the Woodland Hills Mall in a long time. It'd been a minute. So we went and did a little shopping. Marcus, we went into Undisputed. I'd never been into that shoe store before. And apparently they only let a certain amount of people in at a time. They like hold you back, only so many in at once. Marcus walked right in and I go, ooh, can I go in? Because he can't buy anything without me. I'm his mom.
Did you have to stand in line?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had no idea.
At a shoe store.
Huh.
Yes. So he found a pair of Jordans that he wanted. And I got suckered into getting him a pair of his first Jordans.
How much?
They were $120. So not like the latest version or anything.
Jordans or Air Force Ones?
Ooh, eek. I don't know.
Jordans say Jordans on them.
Oh yeah, they say
On
Jordans
the back,
on
they
them.
say Jordans.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, they're a pretty dope shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was exciting and it was fun. Just me and my preteen getting to hang out. So that doesn't happen very often. And so that was probably the best. The worst, yesterday, after church, I was really looking forward to going to breakfast. Normally that's what we do. And I wanted to go to the Silver Skillet because they have the best waffle I've ever had ever. Have you been there before, Gimpy? I'm sure you've
Never heard of it.
No? Okay. They're over on 61st Street.
In Broken Arrow?
No, in Tulsa.
Okay.
61st and is it Mingo maybe? By across from like Jason's Deli, in that Sky Zone. By Sky Zone.
So
all
the
that.
Hooters corner for those that
Yes.
let me speak the lingo.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. They have the best Belgian waffle I've ever had in my life.
Wonder what makes it so special.
Have no idea.
Made
But
with
when
little
I
Belgians.
asked the waitress the first time I had it, she goes, I don't know. The cook will not tell us what he does.
Sure.
But she was like, isn't it fantastic? And I'm like, yes. So anyways, I was craving that yesterday and Kevin's like, no, I really want to just go to Costco and get our shopping done. I'm like, son of a. So I was very disappointed. I did not get to my waffle yesterday. That's about the worst.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how you made it
I
here,
know,
but impressive.
exactly.
Impressive.
Tough weekend, man.
Mhm.
Best and worst of the weekend. What's the best thing that happened this weekend and the worst thing that happened this weekend? 918-460-KMOD. Or you can text BMMS and whatever that is to 82945. Gimpy?
The best part of the weekend was going out to Fort Smith to get my bike back Saturday. That was really good. Felt good. Felt good to get back on her. I was riding a little bike for all last week, and it's just not the same. It's just not the same, to be honest with you. But I got her back. Runs great, sounds great. Love it. Ready for the spring and summer for sure. Worst part of the weekend, also on Saturday. Get home. I check my mail. I get a goddamn letter from DHS saying I owe them a bunch of money. I was like, hey, this is not right because you pull it straight out of my check. How the hell can I owe you
Right.
money?
How can that be messed up? Yeah.
Exactly. So when Jeff comes in, I got to be like, hey, bro, what's up with this?
Huh.
Yeah. Because he is my attorney on that sort
Sure.
of thing. So he's the one that,
Right.
be able to handle. But I'm just surprised. I'm like, holy crap, how does this work out? If you pull money out of my paycheck,
Mhm.
every goddamn paycheck, then how am I owed, back support?
Sounds like we have our first question.
I think
Yeah.
you may be right.
How long have you been doing that paying?
For 18 years now. 18 years. Yeah. Because my daughter just turned 18 in January.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah. So that's 17, 18, somewhere along. A long damn
So you should be
time.
done. Like you
should be. We're in the process of starting that ball rolling to get it to not have to pay anymore because she finishes school in like May or whatever, so then it'll be done. So we're starting that process. And then they're like, well, here's this. And I'm like, well, you can piss off.
As someone who's never gotten that letter,
Mm-hmm.
does the letter go tell you which child it's for?
No, it doesn't.
So they just say, for example, I'm just paraphrasing. Hey, there's a claim against you. You owe money, and it could be like maybe you have a long lost kid you don't know about. Doubtful.
Right.
I'm just saying if you get a letter blindly out of the blue, you have no idea what it could be in reference to.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I'm going to give it to him and be like, here, can you figure out what's going on with this? And then let me know from there. And we'll figure that out.
Ugh.
Yes. One more kick in the balls from life.
Well, not yet.
You're right.
Potentially.
Potential.
Probably.
Yeah, right.
But not 100%
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
Could be a clerical error. I hear those happen.
God, I hope it is. I hope somebody messed up somewhere and then just like, oh, my bad. You don't really owe this money. And I'm like, well, that'd be great.
But if I'm not mistaken, they can only go back 2 years.
Right. That's a very good point. That is a very, very good point. But I don't like I said, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is.
Or
so.
could this be because your child turned 18? Could this be that it's now the payments are ending?
They're usually not
No, it's
proactive
not.
that way from what we understand.
Yeah.
It's on you to close it up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or else they'll just keep taking your money regardless, because they don't give a damn.
What's the best and what's the worst of the weekend? 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Best part of the weekend for me was my wife and I's anniversary, 12 years. And we had some things planned, like date stuff, but that's the worst part of the weekend is I did the fights on Friday, and then I was very sick on Saturday and part of yesterday. And my youngest was also sick. She went to urgent care yesterday. Now she has strep. So apparently they're volleying that back and forth, and I'm getting the crumbs from it. So that sucks. So we didn't do anything.
Damn.
Won't leave your house.
Rain check.
It's exactly what I signed up for. Having kids like that.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do?
Right.
We want to know from you, though, what's the best and what's the worst of the weekend? 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS. And then what you want to say to 82945. Text best. Some lady on Netflix convinced me to talk to every item in my room and throw it away. My room is now spotless. Had 4 bags of donations and trash. Worst, it's created a monster. I want to toss everything. Dude, purging is a drug.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I love throwing stuff away.
Mm.
Right before you do it, it feels crazy. But then when you're like, oh, look at all this room.
Yeah.
Right. So I could fill it up with more crap.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Best was getting our spare bedroom ready for our firstborn. Worst was having to come to work on Sunday.
Mm.
For best and worst of the weekend, getting to see my daughter and watching 2 Disney movies about dogs. Did they die? Worst of the weekend, having to shoot an animal in the head. Okay, best. Or because taking a life, regardless of it being a farm animal that was raised for food or something else, is never truly easy, at least on the mental side of things. Physically, it's a breeze.
Well, yeah, just squeeze the trigger.
But what was wrong with it?
Right.
I mean, did you have to do that?
Right. Well, your leg's broken. I guess we're going to have to put it down.
Dog isn't eating all day. Must be dying.
Right.
Let me put it out of its misery.
I was just not hungry today, man.
My grandparents had a farm,
Mhm.
full-fledged, 1,000 acres, cattle at some point.
Mhm.
They did grass for the agriculture, U.S. agriculture, right, for
Right.
disbursement amongst other cattle. Anyway, and then opened it up for grazing. And they had chickens and sheep, and I would work on the farm in the summer, and it was awesome. And all the time, and they had horses, they had everything.
Yeah.
And all the time I ever worked there, ask me how many times we put a bullet in an animal's head.
How many
How
times?
many?
Never,
Never ever, huh?
not once.
What, did you like hack its head off with a knife, or are you like a machete or something?
I think there's a couple things in play there. One, maybe my grandparents waited till I wasn't around,
Protect them.
right?
Mhm.
Or they just took it to the vet and got it better. I don't know. I'm just saying there could be 2 scenarios playing out there.
Mhm.
I don't recall. I can't ask them.
Right.
Sure.
Can't ask my dad
Right.
that whether that happened. But, and I'm not saying it shouldn't or doesn't or anything. I'm just saying it doesn't feel like a common thing.
Right.
Back then it was, about getting a vet out there and
Yeah.
what are you going to do? Now it feels like if you pay whatever amount of money for a horse, it's like paying off a car, right?
Right.
Whatever the cost is at this point,
It's worth
I'm
it.
saving money.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
What do
Mhm.
I know, though?
Yeah, horses are not cheap.
Worst part of the weekend was my son got an infection in both eyes, and having them dilated for vision test means there wasn't a best part. Holding a child down to put drops in their eyes for a vision test might be one of the worst things.
Well,
yeah.
yeah, because that baby don't know what's going on.
Or, well, I'm talking a child. I'm not talking a baby, right?
Either way.
They know, hey, we're going to do a vision test. This will take 2 seconds.
We're
You're suffering more in imagination than you are in reality.
Yeah.
gonna hold your eyes open while we drop some of these unknown drops into your
Oh, we know what they
eyeballs.
You don't.
Right.
Because you don't know anything.
Right. That's the thing.
Yeah. It's like when I took my oldest to get the swab test for strep, and I had to leg lock her in between me and hold her arm so they could swab her throat.
Oh wow, she's fighting it that bad.
Oh
huh?
yeah, she's
Wow.
7, and we had to like hold her mouth open, and then she bit down on it like she was possessed.
It's the worst.
She
It's
didn't
the
want any part of it.
craziest
Yeah.
thing ever.
Marcus always asks if he has to get a test, whether it be up the nose or in the throat. He always asks, "Can I stand up against the wall?" So he has nowhere to go, and that's the way they'll do it for him. I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, Leo.
And he's how old?
He's 12.
Okay.
But he's like, that I know better. Like, I know I will flinch or whatever. So I make his brothers do the exact same thing. It's the best way.
Another text, best and worst are the same. Pull the trigger on a king size individual side adjust Tempur-Pedic.
Nice.
It's next level amazing, but damn. I hear you. It's expensive, but
Well worth the money.
I
huh?
think so.
Mm,
You have a bed, what, 5-10 years?
Yeah.
Some people much longer than that.
yeah.
You spend so much time on it. There ain't nothing better than when you have a nice bed and you get in, you're like, hell yeah.
Ain't
Mhm.
that the truth?
I feel the same way about sheets.
Mm.
Best was I bought Shinedown tickets for me and my 9-year-old daughter in April. Worst, hit a deer on Saturday morning on my way to my extra shift, and my oldest turned 12, and it made me sad because I don't remember it at all. The deer or your child's birthday?
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
Which part was the worst part? I mean, it's definitely no buying shoes or not having your favorite waffle.
Yes.
Damn it.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we've got a pair of tickets to Jerry Cantrell, and we'll give you meet and greet as well. We'll be back.
Tulsa's morning show.
And Corbin
Sure.
in the middle of football games.
No, listen, even robbers know there's nothing to take at a Cowboys fan house. I found this list of annoying things people say. I'll say the phrase. You guys tell me if you say it. This is going to be humiliating for all of us.
All right.
Okay.
Annoying things people say.
I don't mean to be rude, but I hate this phrase.
Mm-hmm.
You do mean to be rude.
Yeah. That's just like, hey, I don't mean to interrupt, but
That is a weird psychological thing you do as a human being to make yourself feel better. I don't mean to interrupt, but that type of thing.
I don't know if I say that. I don't think I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I say that.
Okay. It's common sense is another one. I've heard people say that.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's common sense, and people are lacking it nowadays.
Yeah.
Of the two we've read, I'm not willing to go all in that I've never said them.
Okay. I'll be honest. I've said both of those.
I simply have a powerful personality. I've never said that.
No, hell no.
I hate this statement. Let's agree to disagree.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's just, let's throw in the towel here.
Well, I mean, you arguing back and forth.
Right.
There's not going to be any resolution. Let's just agree to disagree.
I see that as I don't have anything else to argue about. I have nothing left. I have no more ammunition.
Mhm.
And I can't accept that I've lost,
Right.
or I can't accept that I've won or whatever. And so
Uh-huh.
you go to that statement.
You should just stomp your feet and walk away.
It's just a joke.
Oh, geez. I said that
I've said that.
Yeah.
several times on the show.
Well, okay. What is said on the show
Uh-huh.
is different than reality.
Right. I get that. I get that. They're just jokes. Say that to the people they're directed to when they take
Yeah.
it personally. It's just a joke, man. Calm down.
These are annoying things people say. Let's unpack this. Okay, moving on.
Yeah. Mirror you.
Do you know who I am? I've never said that.
Never.
I never have either. Not like to anybody in particular. Like, I'm at, bar, restaurant. You know who I am?
Right.
No. But like in a joking manner.
Telling a story?
Yeah.
For sure.
You know who I am?
No, you're right.
Come on.
And I've been with people that have said it and it makes me cringe. Like where they've said, do you know who this is? I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that.
Next couple are going to sting. It is what it is.
Oh, that's my fave. That is my absolute fave.
I will validate that is annoying to hear. Well, actually.
Ugh. Those come in on a lot of
Yeah.
texts on here.
Yeah. And on the show.
Mhm.
Love the sinner, hate the sin.
No.
Again, another phrase that people use to excuse behavior.
Right.
Yes.
I always keep it real, and a lot of people can't handle the truth I speak.
That's just a way of saying I'm an asshole.
Totally. I've said that line.
Mhm.
That's problematic. I don't find that one annoying.
No.
Oh,
That's an observation you're making. You're not critiquing anybody. You're like, well, that's problematic.
Yeah. You can see something on the horizon like this is going to cause some issues. Yeah.
I need to speak to a manager.
Hi, Karen. I've never had to say that.
I can't, upon reflection, like with not in the moment of a fly in my soup or whatever, I can't think of a reason I need to speak to the manager.
No. It's simple. I just won't come back to X place, wherever it is.
Agreed.
There's nothing me speaking to the manager will fix.
No.
It is strictly an ego move.
Mhm.
I need to know you've heard me.
Right.
I need to believe you're going to fix this.
Mhm.
Not to play the devil's advocate, but show's based off that theory. Trust the science. I've heard that too.
Right.
I'm just an aggressive person. I have a lot on my mind.
I'm an asshole, and I need to get all this out.
Full stop.
That sounds familiar.
I've heard that. Why are you such in a bad mood? Bitch, when I'm in a bad mood and you go, why are you such in a bad mood? Whew,
Mm-hmm.
whew.
Just stay. Don't even ask.
Right.
Or when they think that you're in a bad mood. Why are you so angry? Why are you so grumpy? I'm not. If I was in a bad mood, you'd know it.
I mean-
I'm just here chilling.
But on the same side,
Uh-huh.
if someone, Like, shouldn't we be better as individuals and goes, hey, someone's being concerned and just calling a spade a spade.
Right.
Hey, why are you such in a bad mood? I'm not in a bad mood.
Right.
Okay. I'm
Stop
concerned
yelling
for
at
your
me.
mental well-being,
Sure.
man. Sorry. Next time I'll use a more politically correct term, you pussy.
Just leave me alone.
Hey, listen, I'm just keeping it real. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. Got a lot
Full
on your
stop.
mind.
Is there another way to come at someone like that if you recognize someone in a bad mood?
Oh yeah, it's easy. Just leave them be.
There's definitely don't play an active part in a person's life. Probably you have to be a little more kid glovish, right? And you're like, hey, little fella, you look like you're struggling. What's been going on? Come on, here's a lollipop. Tell me what the problem is.
Can I be a shoulder for you to cry on?
Here's another one. Live, laugh, love.
I've
Said
seen
it.
those signs.
My wife finally is getting rid of the gather sign in our dining room. I have
Oh.
no idea where we're going to eat.
What's her reason for getting rid of it? She's just like, all right,
I think I've pushed the button enough.
fine. We'll take it down. Why are you in such a bad mood?
People come over, or my girls will go, where are we eating dinner tonight? I'm like, just look for the sign.
Right? Tell you where to go.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
totally thought you were like, I have no idea why. I have no idea where we're gonna eat.
Right, because the sign says
I know,
gather.
I love it.
And it's a play on like, hey, we're
I
family.
know.
Okay.
This is
Trying
awesome.
to help you. For your situational awareness. I don't.
No.
No, seems like a lot.
Another one that is a button. Calm down.
Yes.
Calm down is a move someone says to try and like establish alpha.
Right. Dominance.
Yeah.
Instead of peeing on their leg or whatever.
Yeah.
Just calm down.
This line. I work hard. When I hear this line, I just laugh inside. Because if you have to announce you
Right.
work hard, you don't.
A king that has to say he is king is no king.
Right.
Game of Thrones.
You are insecure in your hard work ethic
Right.
that you must pronounce to the world that you do.
Uh-huh.
Well, then your actions should reflect that, right? I reject the premise of that question. If you said that to me, I'd probably laugh.
Mhm.
Get out of here with that.
Gimpy and I laugh about this one all the time. If I were you,
Oh, you should just.
you should just as a variation of
right
that.
along the same line.
You
yeah.
need to.
This is another one I love. Threat to our democracy.
Oh, good Lord.
Must be nice. Like, must be nice.
Oh, I was
Must
thinking
be
of more
nice.
like you must be nice.
No. Must be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Are we there yet? You know, it must have been when I got my white New Balance that I realized how annoying that phrase is.
Yes, absolutely.
Dad mode, man. I can't stand that.
Mm,
Are we there yet? You'll know. How will I know? When I park the car.
right. Then you stop at the gas station, take a whiz, right? Because you've been on the road for 16 hours. Are we there yet? But you said we were there when you stopped the car. I got to piss. Shut up.
Annoying things people say. I'm the type of person.
Ugh,
Hear me out.
no.
Per my last email.
In other words, I ain't going to say it again.
No, meaning you didn't read it.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm.
Do your own research.
Lazy ass.
Because I said so. Sure.
Mm-hmm. That's a good dad answer right there. Well, why? Because I said so. That's why.
Right. But if you think about it, when
Mhm.
you're trying to shape a young mind,
Mhm.
it gives no context. You don't learn from that.
And I'm
No.
so guilty of that.
Totally. Every
Mhm.
parent is.
Absolutely.
It's an easy answer. If you're saying that, you're already frustrated.
Exactly. And I even read an article
Oh, good.
years ago saying why you shouldn't say that to your kids.
And
just like you said, because you're shaping a young mind, it gives them no real reason as to why they shouldn't do this or that. You should give them a reason
right.
behind why you're saying no.
It's an interpretation like a confrontation
Mhm.
rather than like, no, I just don't understand.
Right.
I'm only saying what everyone's thinking.
Yeah. I've said that before.
Yeah, me same.
I don't like drama.
Hell yeah. Everybody says that.
And yet here we are.
It's a
Mhm.
lie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Lie.
Yeah. It's only said by those people who create the drama or are involved in the drama. Just giving you a hard time.
That means I'm an asshole, and I notice that I've hurt your feelings, so therefore I've got to smooth things over. I'm just giving you a hard time, man.
Yeah. That's just how I was raised. I hate this statement.
Right.
Because you can't evolve. We can't evolve as people.
No.
You can't want to break the cycle that happened to you.
No.
I get it.
No. Those issues are deep rooted inside me.
Right. And therefore, everyone must be exposed to them.
Absolutely.
Because I was. 3 charged in kidnapping extortion plot. 3 people have been arrested after torturing a man in a hotel room in Tennessee. It happened on the 21st of this month when police say 25-year-old Jessica Mortensen lured a 25-year-old man to a hotel room. Inside the room, 41-year-old Harry Kingham and 37-year-old Joshua Frazier forced the victim to remove his clothes, then held him at gunpoint while taking him to the bank to withdraw thousands of dollars. The victim was then thrown out of the car in his driveway.
Oh, damn.
All 3 suspects then returned to the hotel where the incident happened, where police found them.
Yeah, and you never go back to the scene. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
There's a drug involved, Lindsay. Can you guess what drug is involved?
Meth.
Yes.
Nothing good comes out of methamphetamine.
Nope.
Yeah, and apparently he made an arrangement because he knew this girl from high school, and he made an arrangement for sex for $300, and the police were like, we're not charging him with solicitation. He's the victim here.
Right.
Even though he was participating in a crime, they knew he would fall for it. They clearly took advantage of him for hours and made him give up his information, so he's not getting charged with. So I don't know if maybe he was somebody of some sort of brain disorder or on the spectrum. Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Let's play a game. Jerry Cantrell is going to be at the Tulsa Theater on this Saturday. Tickets available at tulsatheater.com, and we're going to throw in meet and greet. It's a very easy game we're going to play. We've been your rock station for a while. 50 years. And so you got to know your music from all those years. Let's get started.
That's right. Do you know 50 years of KMOD rock, baby? Let's find out. 3 songs from 50 years as your rock station. Answer correctly, you win, baby. 918-460-KMOD.
All right, so we'll get a contestant on the air. I will play the 3 songs. I will then tell you the year I'm looking for, and you got to pick which song fits that year. It's a 1 in 3 chance. Pretty simple. Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name? Sorry about that. What is your name?
Jeremy.
Jeremy, how are you today?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Good, man. I'm going to play 3 songs, and then I'll tell you what year I'm looking for. Here is your first song, okay?
Right on.
All right, here's the first one. You know that song, right, Lindsay?
Photograph.
What is it?
Photograph.
Yes, Nickelback and Photograph. Here's the second one.
So let's go there. Let's make our escape. Come on, let's go there.
You'll be right.
You can't go wrong with Creed.
Yeah, I thought they would be untouchable. All right, here's the third one. Jeremy, if I have to tell you who that is, you don't deserve the tickets. I'm looking for the song from August of 1999. I'm looking for the song from August of 1999. What do you think, Jeremy?
Can you tell me the name of the songs again?
Nickelback Photograph,
Okay.
Creed Higher, and Alice in Chains Man in the Box.
I'm going Creed higher.
Creed Higher's your guess?
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Yeah, that's correct.
Hell yeah.
Excellent job, man. So you're going to be going to see Jerry Cantrell on Saturday, and you're getting meet and greet, man. So you and a friend are going to get to meet Jerry Cantrell from the legendary Alice in Chains.
Man, that is awesome. Thank you so much.
Excellent job. Hang on the line, okay?
Appreciate it.
All right. It's no coincidence I picked songs that all kind of have felt the same.
Yeah.
A little bit.
They're really close together. I was like, ooh, which year is he going to go for? And you said 99. I was like, damn it. All right. So I knew it wasn't Man in the Box because that was like early mid 90s.
91.
91, yeah. So I was like, oh, damn, which one was it first? Was it Photograph or was it Creed? And he nailed it.
And then Photograph 2005, for those that don't know. I'm never sure, like, how far should the spacing be? I don't think doing it a year next to each other is fair.
No, that's a
But
little
7
too
years, I feel, is fine.
Yeah,
Definitely.
7, 8 years should be okay.
for sure, man.
So congratulations to him. We'll have tickets for Jerry Cantrell and meet and greet all this week. So make sure you're listening. We'll take a break and we'll be back.
Tulsa's morning show continues
Drive
next.
himself crazy.
I'm not
Start
gonna let him go.
drinking. All right. Go down the meth aisle with his new girlfriend, Megan. All right.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, he's committed suicide and hung himself in the garage because you.
I don't know what that has to do with me.
would
People, no, that has zero to do with me. I'm saying I have a responsibility as a company to make sure everybody's doing their job. And he can come back. We'll treat him as family. He'll stay on insurance. We'll give him projects. Everything will stay the same. But to have the expectation that he's going to be the same employee is not realistic. And that is what I'm saying.
I understand there's going to be some differences, but deep down inside, if that's what he needs to heal, then you keep on keeping on. I'm not hiring. I'm not looking for the new hire immediately.
He is going to be a drip at the company picnic.
Oh, yeah.
Do not ask him to play laser tag or just tag or capture the flag.
Don't even say the word capture around him.
Don't do the ropes course with him.
Right.
Trust fall?
Uh-uh.
No.
Trust any of you bitches.
No.
He's going to want to move to another state and start a whole new life.
Yes.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, let it work itself out, but you have a responsibility to your customers. And as a manager of a business, we got to move forward. We can't let somebody hang on to the back of the train as it's pulling away from the station. Give him all those resources he needs. Let him continue to get a check.
Right. All right.
Put him in a basement. Take his red set. Whatever that looks like for you.
Right.
All these stories are on our Facebook page. No days off.
I said 2.
No,
gave
you
him
said
2
the
days.
weekend, which he already gets.
No, I said I'll give you 2 days. That you've got Friday and Saturday, so I'll give you Monday and Tuesday.
You get Friday, you get Saturday and Sunday off.
Exactly. So you've got 4 days.
So you gave
total.
no days off.
I gave him Monday and Tuesday off.
No, you said back on Monday.
No, I said back on Wednesday. I said you got Friday and you got Saturday and Sunday already off. All right, so I'll give you Monday and Tuesday back to work on Wednesday.
Who wants to start in the middle of
You
the week?
bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Listen, I got a business to run, Corbin.
That's what I'm saying. I hear people all the time say that this isn't fair. Life isn't fair. It's not fair for me. It's not fair for what I want to do. I hear that all the time. And I'm going to tell you a story right now where you don't get to say that anymore.
Okay.
All right.
There is a country on this planet where the government makes them have a quota of collecting their own feces.
Why? Why is
for
that even-
fertilizer?
Okay.
And as quotas go, they tend to grow every year.
You haven't crapped enough this year.
And
You need to put out some more.
And it's such a problem, the quota and the unreachability for maybe you're not having enough fiber in your diet, that you end up stealing crap from your neighbors so you can meet your quota to the government.
What has this
Thou shalt not
world
steal
come
my
to?
neighbor's crap.
What's that, Gimpy?
So what does this world come to, man?
So when you talk about how unfair it is, just keep in mind, you're not having to steal your neighbor's crap, literally. I don't know what I would do. I got to keep. So, like, I do all the grocery shopping, right? I do the majority of cooking.
Right.
Because my schedule allows for that to happen.
Yeah.
So that means if the crap quota was a thing here, that would be on my list of things I got to take care of.
Absolutely. All right. So I got to go to the grocery store at 12:30. I've got a doctor's appointment and then pick up the dry cleaning. Oh, and I've got to take 4 craps today. Oh, Bmms too, because, I was light yesterday.
Hey, little Sally flushed. She can't be flushing.
Mm-hmm.
We are so close to this month's quota.
Yeah. You have to keep track of whenever anyone in your family goes poo. You got to collect it for your kids and your wife.
You want to guess what the average household quota a year is of crap in this country?
Oof. Lindsay, go ahead.
Like pounds?
Yeah.
Billion pounds?
$1 billion in a household.
In a household. I'll go. Let's go with 100 pounds.
Okay, Gimpy.
I was going to say 50 pounds. I think is a good quota for your family to poop.
220 pounds a year in a household. Now, these are people that are able to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have somebody who's, they don't go, I'm sorry, they're on a colostomy bag.
It's a sliding scale, essentially.
Of course, it's an average.
Yeah.
Right. If you have only 2 people in a house compared to the house of 6, I think the scale is going to be a little different.
Does this article say, like, how they reach that number for the quota? Like, is it based on weight and diet and obviously household members, how many people you have in your house?
Sure. It's going to, by the number of people.
Okay.
Depends on how much your quota is.
Strictly on the number of people.
Yeah.
That judges how much you need to craft for this. Okay.
Yeah. What I said was the average.
Right. I was just thinking like, well, they look at a family of 6 and they're like, all right, well, you guys eat X amount a week. So therefore you should be producing X amount of excrement a week. So your quota is X. But I didn't know how it worked out. I guess it's just like you got 6 people. You can make this much poop.
Yeah. You should be able to make this much poop.
Should be able to.
And if not, see your doctor.
The idea that would be a stress in your life.
Yes. What does stress do?
Right.
Stress
binds you up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Question.
Answer.
Would you rather, Gimpy, pay taxes or have to collect poop? Your family's poop.
Pay taxes.
Amen.
Pay taxes, man. I am
Lindsay?
not.
I think I'd rather collect poop and use it for fertilizer than pay taxes.
You say that the first day.
Yeah, that's true.
You may even say that the second day. But when you're on, let's just say month 6 of collecting your family's excrement.
I think it's worse than that. The first month, you're not going to meet the quota.
Right. Oh, my God. Oh, we can't go too far into this, but things are different for everybody.
Yeah, everybody's movements are different.
Everybody has different kinds. So let's just say you've got a bad flu one week. Flu will put you down for 4 days.
Yeah.
And there ain't nothing solid about a flu.
Or how about this? You're on an antibiotic.
But you can't use that, right? Like, it would have to be solid.
Listen, I didn't go deep into this. Sorry.
Right.
I didn't go to the ins and outs of every household and how many people and what antibiotics you were on and what did that have to do with it.
Yeah.
To me, the headline is enough.
Yeah. I'm assuming they just want the solid stuff. And I'm thinking.
Yeah, no,
like,
they want a good turd.
You clean up after your ferrets. I clean the cat's litter box. I mean, it's not too much different.
It's completely different. One, you're trained by the animal. The other is
right. We're trained by our parents to do it in a receptacle.
Someone text in, put a colander over the toilet bowl.
Dude,
problem solved.
Pooping in the same thing that I strain my spaghetti noodles in.
No, you buy 2. Got
Yeah, but
one
you
for
got
your
a
noodles,
clean one,
for your
Lindsay. You
bathroom.
got a clean
Oh,
one.
God. And then
Sure.
you get them mixed up because, they're
You-
both silver.
One's plastic.
No, plastic absorbs smells.
Gross.
Use that one for your
Yeah,
pasta.
we're getting off. We're getting too far.
Gross. Come on, man.
220 pounds. 220 pounds.
A month. Or is that a year?
A year. A year.
Okay.
A year.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of fertilizer.
I get a bag of salt, and it's like 40-pound bag, right? For the water softener.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And so like 5 of the that's a lot. I get it out of the trunk of the car and I'm like, but to do that with my own feces, family's feces, is a whole other ball of wax. Amen, right?
Yeah.
When you think about the things that people go through in other countries, I'm like, can you imagine if somebody ran for office and they were like, hey, we're going to put down the national debt by harvesting our own feces. Listen to the math. There's this many number of us.
Uh-huh.
We can sell it at this much. We'll have this debt wiped out in no time and have a surplus.
Mhm. Mhm.
You'll be sent a bag.
Right, a government bag. That is not the best bag ever. It kind of leaks every now and again.
Y'all couldn't wear a mask.
For real. You want me to crap in a bag every day? Ship it off.
Think about that.
it
We couldn't
off.
we couldn't get everybody on the same page
Hey,
with the mask.
hey, did you crap in your bag today, sir?
Look at that. Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS. Then what you want to say to 82945. Listener emails coming up. Plus, Jeff Hensley will join us. You got a question about divorce, custody? Maybe you got a letter from DHS. He's going to be able to answer some maybe he's going to give some context to some of those questions. Get them to us ahead of time. Email address is show@kmod.com. Text it, BMMS, and whatever that is to 82945. Or you can call when he's in at 919-460-KMOD. Let's see what's in Gimpy's 4x4.
Well, Corbin says here that Biden says he intends to run for re-election. He said that he has other things to finish before starting a full-blown 2024 presidential campaign. He has not announced any official plans, but has previously said he intends to run for a second term. First Lady indicated last week he's ready to formally launch a re-election bid very soon. Texas and Michigan officials say there was no warning about contaminated water in soil. Officials from Michigan and Texas said they didn't get any warning that contaminated soil and water from the train derailment in Ohio would be coming to their jurisdictions. Over 1 million gallons of toxic waste have been removed from the accident site in East Palestine. Texas Judge Lena Hidalgo said that they were told the materials were coming, only to find out they'd already been in the state for a week. This comes after the EPA ordered Norfolk Southern to stop its shipments of hazardous waste from the site so it can review the company's plan for disposal.
Wait, so like there was a derailment and they were like, nah, it's good. Keep going.
Right. Listen, we got to get it there somehow. Bah. Says here that the Energy Department concludes COVID likely came from China lab leak. That's according to multiple reports, which cite a classified intelligence report that was delivered to key lawmakers last month. It adds that the department made the assessment with, quote, low confidence. U.S. government agencies have been divided over whether the health emergency began in China as a result of a lab leak or whether it emerged naturally.
So apparently there's the FBI also had a statement on this. And there's low, which you just said, the one you just said, moderate and high. And so of the three, what'd you say? The energy was like,
It's low. It's a low.
But the FBI was moderate.
Right. Meanwhile, the people are staying high. Of course it came from a China lab leak. Anyhow, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said there's no, quote, definitive answer on the origin of the vid. And lastly here, art therapy pods are installed in Tulsa. Tulsa now has the world's first art therapy pod, and there are hopes that it can help children in North Tulsa Art Forms Foundation. It is a nonprofit that helps provide access to art education. The pods are for the Art Forms Enrichment Center, and they will be used to help children with their mental health and develop art skills.
So there's like a crate with markers?
Sure.
Oh, no, I'm asking.
Well, I have no idea.
Yeah, and apparently paintbrushes, like you can do art.
It is that?
Yeah. That's what I read and saw, like, briefly. I didn't read the entire story, but they had pictures of it. It's like little pods, and you can go in and do artwork.
You say pods, I think of the movie The Fly.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know, like a little hut, I guess. I don't know, like a little.
That's
secret.
the movie The Fly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to your
I
hut
wish they
and
would do this for
color.
adults.
Look, someone doesn't take a deuce in it.
Yeah. Damian Lillard put together a historic performance with a franchise record 71 points and 13 three-pointers to lead the Trail Blazers past the Rockets 131 to 114 in Portland. The 32-year-old knocked down 22 of 38 shots from the field and is now the oldest player to ever score 70 or more points in a game. Jeremy Grant finished second in scoring for Portland with 13 points, while Nasir Little came off the bench to total 11. Alperen Sengun and Jayshawn Tate tied for the team lead with 17 points for Houston in the losing effort. The Lakers stormed back from a 27-point deficit as they stunned the Mavericks 111 to 108 in Dallas. Los Angeles trailed early on, but outscored Dallas by 17 points in the second half to complete the largest comeback in the NBA this season. Anthony Davis led the way with 30 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 blocks. LeBron James tweaked his ankle in the third quarter, but finished with 26 points in the victory. Luka Doncic paced the Mavericks with 26 points in the losing effort. LeBron says he'll be monitoring his ankle for the next couple of days. And the Hawks are hiring their new head coach. Quinn Snyder has agreed to a 5-year deal with Atlanta and will potentially make his coaching debut on Tuesday. The Hawks fired Nate McMillan last week after a 29-30 start to the season. Snyder resigned from his post as head coach of the Utah Jazz last spring after 8 seasons in Salt Lake City. The 56-year-old served as an assistant to Mike Budenholzer in Atlanta before taking his first head coaching job in Utah. And at the 54th annual NAACP Image Awards, tennis legend Serena Williams and WNBA Olympic basketball star Brittany Griner were both honored. Williams was given the Jackie Robinson Sports Award. The award recognizes high achievement in athletics, along with their pursuit of social justice, civil rights, and community involvement. In addition to her 23 Grand Slam titles, Williams had led several charity causes and been a champion of diversity and business leadership. Griner appeared on stage with her wife, referencing her 10-month Russian imprisonment. Griner thanked everyone for their support then and now and put out a call to fight to bring home every American that is currently detained overseas.
I was thinking when I saw that on SportsCenter that did she even want to do that? Did she want to go out there? Did she? Because you come back from something like that, it's incredibly traumatic.
Yeah.
And you're like, all I want to do is just be around the people I love.
Right. Get back to some kind of normal life that you.
A new normal.
Right.
Yeah.
When you get like tortured, right? It's a little hard to get reacclimated.
Yeah.
I would think. And you got to feel like you got to come out and say something.
Right.
Makes sense for the platform she chose to do it at. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, she is back to normal. I mean, she re-signed with the Phoenix Mercury.
Of course, they have. They have to do that.
Yeah, but
it's the right move. Whether she can play or not, whether she wants to play or not, doesn't matter. It's the right move.
She re-signed this week a 1-year deal worth $165,000.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but that doesn't mean it. My point is, it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
There are players that sign 1-year deals so they can retire as that player. And she got taken at a time that was. They were like, yeah, we want her to give some money.
Yeah.
They're trying to do the right thing.
But I took it as when you say, when does she want to do that? When you say get back to some normalcy and to spend time with family, it looks to me like her normalcy is I want to get back on the court, get back to playing. So maybe, getting on stage and talking about it is something
Not
that
that
she did
though,
want to do.
but it's not that. It's not getting on the court, as you're saying. To me, when you have something like that happen,
Mhm.
you don't go, man, I can't wait to travel 75 days.
Right. Yeah.
You go, I don't want to do anything except be around people I love.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it is basketball.
Yeah.
Maybe that is what she loves more than her partner. But to me, what a weird thing to have to be clawed at to come talk
Yeah.
about that thing, right? When people go missing, right? And the family's just getting harassed to do interviews.
Yeah.
When you are a whistleblower for something and they want you to come talk and do an interview about it. When you're like, I was just trying to do the right thing. I don't want to do this. I'm not trying to do TV interviews.
True.
But the people want to know.
Good for them.
Yeah. It's about the circumstance though. Like if someone is missing, I think the family does want to be in the spotlight as much as possible.
I don't know
talking about it.
I don't know. Only in the pretense that it would get their kid back or
Right.
the person that's missing back.
Exactly. Because they want it top of mind. They want it always in the spotlight. Kyle Busch is celebrating a NASCAR Cup Series win at the Pala Casino 400 in Fontana. The number 8 car started in the 21st spot as Busch leapfrogged the competition to take home his first win as a member of Richard Childress Racing. Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, Daniel Suarez, Kevin Harvick rounded out the top 5 finishers. This was Harvick's 750th consecutive Cup Series start. The racers will turn their attention to the Pennzoil 400 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway coming up next weekend. And that is your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the
Are
original.
any of them still single? I'm 5'2", 120 pounds, pleasant on the eyes, and very capable of intelligent conversation. For the record, if you write that in there, I know you're not. Just saying, because if you were, you'd say something intelligent.
Yeah.
What do you think, Lindsay? How do you find a well-endowed man or person?
I don't know.
Oh, your
I
poor
mean,
husband.
I would say I found mine. I'm not looking.
Too late.
Yeah.
All right. What's done is done.
So I would say maybe join a matchmaker. Ask a matchmaker to help you out. I feel like that would be something that would be on a matchmaking site.
Right, but don't you think there's room for fibbing on that?
Yeah,
You get to
definitely.
embellish a lot on those.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Picture of you and a dog, and they're like, oh, where's your dog? I don't have a dog.
Mhm.
Oh, there's a picture of you on your dating profile. Yeah.
About that. That was my friend's dog, and I
Yeah.
thought it would just,
It's a great picture of me.
bring you in.
They do say that people with dogs in their profile pictures
Totally.
get lots of hits.
You want to, if you're a single guy, there are 2 ways to pick up women, in my opinion.
Mm.
A dog at a park.
Mm-hmm.
Go to a dog park. You will find probably a woman with a dog.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
God, I hope so.
Offer
Yeah.
to pick up your friend's kids
Mm.
at school
Mm.
where you have to walk in.
Oh, yeah. Single mom, single dad.
Just saying. Right? That would be the way to do it.
Mm.
All right. But Lindsay, well endowed.
Yeah, I would say get on a match. Hire a matchmaker. Hire a matchmaker. I don't think you're ever going to just find someone well endowed unless you are looking on someone's OnlyFans page, maybe. I would say a guy that has some junk is going to start his own page if he's single.
Gimpy.
I don't know. I don't know where to start, and I don't want to know where to start. So my advice to this person is figure it out your damn self. All right? Go find somebody and ask them if they got a big schlonger. And if
for
that's
tight
the
pants.
answer's yes, then okay, well, you're going to have to figure it out for yourself, but then there you got your answer. But I don't know. I have never searched for a guy with a huge schlong. I have no desire to search for a guy with a huge schlong. Now I'm out. I have no advice for you.
If you asked me where to find information on molecular science, I wouldn't be able to help you. Nor am I a resource for this. I'm just making an assumption. You might be focusing on the wrong thing.
Eyes up here, lady.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
If your objective's just to get that,
Mm,
go to the bar and ask guys.
absolutely.
They will gladly tell you.
Mhm.
And be ready to call them out on it. Because every guy is going to say they're a horse. That the Jolly Green Giant ain't got nothing on them.
When I had first pierced mine way back when I was in high school, you're proud of it. And I was talking to this gal, Amber, I think is what her name was. And I was telling her about it. Oh, yeah, penis is pierced, did it myself, blah, blah, blah. Oh, let's sit. Okay. So I had no choice but to present myself to her. Oh, it just goes to prove his point. You're going to have to be prepared for them to, whip it out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're going to have to be very assertive. Did you end up sleeping with her?
No, I didn't.
Interesting.
Why you say that?
I asked for the dessert tray. I'm getting dessert.
Not if it's ugly.
I don't know anything about that. On the podcast, we mentioned one thing is added to a news story. It changes the dynamic of a story. It makes it way more intense. Regardless if it's a news story or a story your friend's telling you.
Mhm.
One factor has to do with feces will change the dynamic of a story. I have found another one that changes the dynamic of a story.
Really? Non-poop related, huh?
Non-poop related.
All right, then.
So the headline, I'm leaving out the crazy part. I'm leaving out part of the crazy. 2 kids killed after a bus driver crashes into a daycare.
Oh, damn, that sucks.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
I've got the factor added to any story makes it more crazy.
Okay.
2 kids killed after totally naked bus driver crashes into daycare.
Totally naked, huh? That will change any story.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Man robbed McDonald's. Okay. Naked man robs McDonald's.
Yeah.
Okay.
That really paints a picture for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah. I woke up in the middle of the night. Somebody was pounding on the door to my house.
Oh, no.
Yes. It was freaky. I didn't know what to do. I woke up in the middle of the night. There was a naked man pounding on the door to my house.
Definitely different.
It lands different, doesn't it? My ex would get so crazy. She'd get drunk and she would run around screaming, right? Yelling at everybody.
Yeah.
My ex, she would get so drunk, she'd get naked and run around screaming.
Mm-hmm.
I had this
It's
friend in
different.
college, man. If he got a good test score, he would celebrate, man.
Yeah.
Get really drunk,
Oh, yeah.
right? Yell, scream, throw stuff out his dorm room window. Right? It's fine.
Yeah.
Seemingly, yeah.
I had this friend in college. If he did really good on a test score, he'd go celebrate, get real drunk, naked, run around, throw stuff out his window.
Yeah.
It literally does.
It does.
That and the other.
And feces.
Yeah.
You add feces to any headline, you go, oh, hey.
Mhm.
Naked here, you're like, yeah, man, get it together. In a courtroom, man pleads not guilty to murder.
Right.
A naked man pleads not guilty to murder. You're like, why was he naked?
Yeah, how did he get naked in the courtroom? I mean, I guess you could have started off with your clothes on and they got naked, but I feel you would have been stopped about, I don't know. You get your shirt off. And that's when I feel the bailiff is going to be like, hey,
Yeah.
hey.
2 Florida paramedics suspended after pronouncing a live man dead. 2 West Central Florida paramedics. This happened on a Wednesday in Clearwater Fire and Rescue. They were placed on administrative duty. WTSP TV reported the incident first. The paramedics from Station 47 responded to a call about a 65-year-old man in cardiac arrest. This happened at his private residence, and they showed up. The responders pronounced the man dead shortly after their arrival. Clearwater Fire and Rescue said in a statement, they left the area once deputies from the sheriff's office arrived to investigate. And according to the news release, a deputy noticed the patient was breathing and requested medical crews to return to the scene. Then Largo fire rescue crews were called and reached the scene about 28 minutes later. And the man was then transmitted to a hospital where he's recovering, according to another TV outlet. Upon notification of the incident, the Clearwater fire and rescue team immediately removed both fire medics from their normal duties and discontinued their abilities to provide patient care in conjunction with the county's medical director. They said, on behalf of the city, I apologize for the actions.
No, they're real sorry.
and the inactions of our crew during this incident. He said, we have strict policies and procedures in place that were not followed. According to our preliminary review, these two did not perform to the standard of care that our citizens expect and deserve.
They have to say that. They can't say they did everything according to code.
Yeah,
Right.
They can't.
because they didn't.
Because then everyone's going to be put under scrutiny. They've got to put it on those two people.
Mhm.
But I can't imagine they showed up with, like, eating a Slim Jim and a Big Gulp going, yeah, he ain't moving. He looks dead. Maybe they didn't. But I'm assuming they showed up, followed the protocols. I don't know, put 2 fingers on the neck. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever those protocols are.
Mirror underneath the nose. Well, he ain't breathing. He's got to be dead.
You're there. You call 911. Paramedics show up. And they just do 2 fingers under the throat, which is not a correct way to check to see if someone's alive, by the way. And they're like, yeah, they're dead. Do you, watching your loved one in this peril moment, who have called the people to save their life, go, yo, man,
Yeah.
do your job? Like, do you
You're
get
not
into it?
satisfied.
Well, of course not. But do you get into an aggressive confrontation? 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. What do you have, Lindsay?
Well, thankfully, I think I got pretty nervous for nothing about last night's storms that we were expecting to see around town. And I just read that the strongest wind gusts blew through Memphis, Texas last night. And according to the National Weather Service, they were clocked at 114 miles per hour.
Damn, that's fast.
Yeah. And they saw golf ball size hail there. But the strongest here were around 80.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Can be.
Well, Jeff Hensley being at 9 o'clock, if you feel you're getting screwed by DHS too, he can help you out.
That's right. All right. It's time for Our Listeners Are Awesome. It's your chance to get to know some of our listeners. And on the phone with us right now is Josh. Hey, Josh, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. Josh is married. How long you been married?
I've been married. We've been together 16 years, so we've been married 12 years.
How did you meet her?
Through my neighbors. She was hanging out with my neighbors one night, and then the winter storm came through, and we all watched movies at my house because I had every Marvel movie you can imagine at the time available on DVD.
And so you go, did you tell me you didn't use the, hey, would you like to see my DVD collection line?
Negative. You just happened over.
So she hangs out, and then it just kind of blossoms from there, huh?
Pretty much.
How'd you ask her to get married?
I didn't get down on one knee. I mean, I watch a lot of chick flicks, but I'm not that corny.
Okay. So what'd you do?
Well, I mean, we got married on our 4-year anniversary of being together, so it was kind of a, we're going to do this thing or what? You know, I think it was more her asking me more than me asking her.
Like an ultimatum.
Get off the pot, man.
Yes, ask her to get off the pot. Correct.
Okay, so you guys get married and you have kids and all that. Tell me about your kids.
What do you want to know?
Right.
I mean, I've got a graphic designer. I've got my son Biscuits. I just saw him yesterday. We went and blew stuff up. And then my daughter, she's fixing to graduate here in May. And then I've got another boy that he's working his way through school, fixing to get back into football.
What's the thing that you're most proud of with them?
But they're not making the same decisions that I made at their age.
Okay.
They're getting their lives together.
It says here that you performed CPR on somebody at a truck stop. What were you doing at a truck stop?
I was getting fuel on my way back home.
Okay. What were you delivering?
Drywall and drywall accessories.
Okay.
I just finished a week-long run from Fletcher to Wichita, back and forth all week.
Oh, just doing that run every day?
Every day, yes.
Yeah. And so tell me about it. You make the stop to get the fuel, and what happens?
So I'm pulling into the truck stop, and I happen to notice this guy running around between the parked trucks over where the trucks park, and thought that's peculiar. Went up, got my fuel, and I could kind of hear him vaguely in the background as he was running around from truck to truck. You see a lot of strange things at truck stops, so you try to filter it out as much as you can. I got my fuel and went in, got me a drink, come back out, and he comes running towards me, and I still can't make out what he's saying just yet. And he gets right next to me, and he's saying, "My mentor is slumped." I'm like, "Do what?" He said, "My mentor is slumped." So I'm like, "All right, let's go." And then we just take off running from the store up over where the trucks are parked, and we climb into the truck, and he's in the sleeper, hunched over. He was sitting up on the bed and just hunched over. So he's lifeless. So we grab him and we pick him up and lift him up over the seat, and then try climbing down the ladder. Meanwhile, I've got 911 on the speakerphone as we're trying to get this lifeless body out of this truck and get him on the ground without dropping him. And we have to start performing CPR. Fortunately, there was a nurse that happened to be at the truck stop as well that saw us running towards the trucks and thought something might be going on. And she come over and she was there. So we both took turns, performing CPR. Because at that point, it's not my decision to say, he's too far gone or he's gone at all. And we just had to take turns back and forth. We'd go for 5 or 10 minutes and then switch off.
And so you said that the guy ran up and said, "My mentor is slumped"?
Correct.
I got to tell you, if somebody said that to me, I wouldn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
It took me a minute, but he had a real thick accent. I'm not sure where exactly he was from. So it just kind of, somehow it clicked, He was a truck driver and a mentor, which is, driver trainer. And when he said he was slumped, I pictured pretty much what I saw. He was slumped over, lifeless.
Yeah. And there's not enough room inside a sleeper to lay them flat to perform CPR, right?
Well, they're not on the ground. No, there's a bed there, and I just don't know how well that would have done. And at the time, it was kind of a panic situation, So he's going to have to get out of the sleeper either way.
How long did you perform CPR?
It was right around 45 minutes before the sheriff got there and was able to tag in his fresh set of hands. And then I think the ambulance arrived maybe 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes later. I mean, it was time was not really an issue. It was basically after the fact, once the sheriff got there, and I happened to see my phone said 45 minutes where I was on the phone, or it was like 50 minutes or something like that with 911, because it took us about 2 or 3 minutes to get him out of the sleeper while I was on the phone with 911.
How sore were your arms after pumping this dude for 45 minutes?
Very sore, very sore. But, it was more. It didn't kick in for several minutes because the adrenaline was still going. So you don't even realize how tired and sore you are till after you're able to, stop and catch your breath.
And did he live?
I don't know. The ambulance.
What?
Stepped there the ambulance stepped there for a few minutes before they took off. I'm not sure what happened. I mean, once they put him in the back of the ambulance, I stepped away.
So he still hadn't come to while you were performing CPR?
No. Unfortunately not. It's not like you see in the movies where, you pump on somebody, you check for vitals, you pump on them again, and they just come to. That's not how it happens.
Man, so you have no idea if all that saved his life or not.
Correct.
How do you mentally absorb that?
Well, I quit smoking that day and went into the store and got me another pack of cigarettes. So puffing on some cigarettes because I can't drink liquor while I'm driving a tractor trailer. So that's how I mentally absorbed it.
Right.
Through my lungs.
Right. But what I'm saying is, how do you mentally absorb that you did all that energy and effort and you have no idea whether he lived or died? Over the next few days, how did you, think about that?
I thought about how I was on the road for a whole week and it could have been me all by myself and nobody to know. And I went home to my wife and kids.
How long have you known CPR?
Well, this was, I think, 3, maybe 4 years ago. My daughter, so about 14 years, maybe 15.
And what triggered?
Originally, I learned CPR back in 95 and then had to take another course when my daughter was born.
And what triggered you to learn CPR?
Well, in 95, it was, of course, taught to the Tulsa Police Explorers, and I happened to be a member of that. But in 03, I had to learn CPR because my daughter was born premature. And before they let us take her home, we had to know infant CPR and general CPR.
You said Tulsa Police Explorer. Explain to everybody what that is.
It's an organization sponsored by local police departments and Boy Scouts of America for children ages 13 and up actively enrolled in school to learn police activities, traffic stops, bomb scene searches, firearm handling, and pretty much anything you'll encounter in law enforcement.
How did you get interested in being a Tulsa Police Explorer?
From the age of 5, I wanted to be a first responder of some sort, ambulance, fire truck, police car, you name it. And the opportunity presented itself through the Explorer program, and I went into the Tulsa Police Explorers.
And how long were you an Explorer?
From 93 to 98.
Okay, so 5 years. What happened in 98?
I was no longer in school.
Uh-huh.
That makes sense.
And so then did you pursue being a police officer?
I had attempted to. However, I ended up getting 2 jobs, straight out of school and working 2 full-time jobs. And that's kind of been my thing since.
So you never got a chance to go to the academy or even pursue that next step after being an explorer?
I kind of did vaguely. I was officially a police officer for the state of Oklahoma, and they had me at the Raider Institute over in Sand Springs back in the day.
So you worked at a prison?
Yes, a children's prison.
It sounds horrible.
Wow, it does.
sound
Yeah.
weird when you say it out loud like that.
A children's prison.
Yes,
What's
there was
the-
murderers and car thieves, everything in there.
I was going to ask what the worst part of working at a children's prison would be, but I guess having to deal with, murderous kids might have something to do with it.
Yes, well, and you've got to be very careful when apprehending a aggressive child. It's not like you're at Connors, where you got grown adults fighting you, you got children fighting you, so the children still have rights, even though they're trying to kill you.
What would be one of the craziest stories you have from working at a juvenile detention center that people would have a hard time wrapping their head around?
The mentality of these youthful offenders, we'll just say that. One kid was probably needed to be in a different facility than a prison. He probably needed some mental health more than anything. Did some things that I probably can't talk about on the air to himself to get out of that place.
What, like he harmed himself or what?
Yes. And so we had to be on suicide watch.
How long did you do that?
I did it for a little over 6 months because there was a lot of politics involved that I didn't want my name associated with if I was to be able to pursue a career in law enforcement in the future, where, like I said, they are children, so they have more rights than adult prisoners. And a lot of them are, like I said, there's mental issues, so they will say stuff to get you in trouble, and you're guilty until proven innocent.
It feels very vague on what you're saying. Give me the broad stroke of politics. What was the political thing that was happening that you went, this isn't for me, I got to get away from it?
Well, like I said, the political part would be you're guilty until proven innocent. If a child says that you inappropriately touched them, you are guilty until proven innocent. And I was not trying to be assigned to a child that, because it was a co-ed prison, so you had males and females, but they had separate pods, of course. However, when you have more male officers than female officers, you have to assign a male officer to the hospital to watch this prisoner while they're in the hospital. And we had 3 officers, all 3 accused by the same girl of inappropriately touching her while she was at the hospital.
Right. Don't want any of that smoke. I hear you.
Okay.
And so you get out of that. What do you do after that?
Maintenance work. I've had a CDL since '99, so I do a lot of driving.
So just an array of jobs from there. But it says you did security at a casino. How did you get hooked up to that job?
My wife was working at the casino, and I needed a full-time job, and the casino was hiring. So a barback position became available, and I got a job as a barback. And then 3 months later, when I was available for a in-house transfer, a security position became available, and I signed up for it.
Now looking back, which is better, barback or casino security?
I would say barback.
I would think so.
Yeah, less trouble that way, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot more privilege security. You get to go into places that, other people don't get to go into, like the vault or the camera room, etc., like that. And you had pockets on your uniform. But
that is nice. People take that for granted. Pockets, yes.
Sure do.
And you don't deal with as many crazy drunk people. When you deal with drunk people as a barback, it's usually in a positive manner rather than doing security, right?
Right, yeah. The drunk people are your friends in the bar. They're not your friends when you're in a uniform.
It says here that you almost burned down a house celebrating America's freedom. Tell me more.
I wouldn't say I almost burned it down. I don't know who almost burned it down. We were, doing things people do, Roman candle fights, and happened to see a lot of smoke and noticed the dilapidated house across the street that happened to be behind everybody was producing this smoke. So we had a gut check moment. Do we let it go away and not be an eyesore, or do we go and, avoid, larceny charges and put this out? So we went and crawled through this house under the smoke and started stomping the fire out.
Like went into the house to put it out?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
upon reflection, was that the right decision?
Yes. I don't like orange. I'm a Sooner fan.
Right. You didn't want to wear the prison colors. Yeah. It says you coached youth football. What got you into coaching youth football?
Well, I used to work with Kewan Jones, and his son was going to join this youth football team, and he's like, "Well, bring your boy out," and I did, and so he started playing football, and the vice president of the organization was like, "Hey, do you want to coach next year?" I'm like, "Sure, why not?" And started coaching.
And what was that like for you? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, life events, 10 being awesome, what would you rate being a youth football coach?
I would have to give it a 9, simply because it's like being on the air and you got to edit yourself a lot.
Okay.
You can't be cursing at kids like that.
It is youth football. It's not high school youth where, the coaches have a little bit more leeway, or they used to at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
We're
says
talking about 6-year-olds and 4-year-olds and up to 13.
It says here though in the notes that you one of your players got, yoked up on a murder case. It feels like the swearing wouldn't have been a big problem.
Well, maybe not. I mean, it's kind of why the youth football programs are a thing, is to give some of these kids something to focus their free time on. Idle hands are the devil's playground, correct?
That's true.
That is what people say.
That's what they say, yes.
So, but I'm curious to, how did this player of yours get in trouble with a murder charge?
From what I understand, there was 4 of them. They were doing things they shouldn't be doing. They were trying to buy a gun off of somebody, and this one of them decided they were going to see if the gun worked.
And they went to see if it worked against another human?
I guess. I mean, either that or they didn't have the money. I don't know.
How old are we talking?
14, 15.
Okay.
Wow.
And so they're like, hey, you're going to need a new quarterback today.
Well, no, he had aged out of the program. We did 13 and under.
Okay. I was under the impression it was somebody while you were doing that. So why do you think coaching is so important?
Mentorship. You give somebody a role model, or you teach them discipline. You give them something you focus their time and energy on. Some of them you can get through to, and some of them you can't get through to. And then this kid here, he could have probably got a full ride to, a D1 university. He had the talent. He just didn't want to get coached.
Yeah.
When his dad passed, he changed.
It's crazy, dude. Well, thank you for being a coach, man. That's. I don't think enough people step up to do that because they don't want to deal with the kids or the parents or whatever. So that's cool that you did that. And congratulations on those kids, man. Take care of them, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, buddy. That's Josh. Our listeners are awesome. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back.
The Big Mad Morning Show returns.
Homeless people eat out of garbage cans, Corbin.
I made a stupid mistake and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to the bar, and slept with some woman. Almost immediately, the guilt took over me. She's told me it's over. But I have to try. What can I do to get her, or to give our marriage a second chance? Lindsay.
Okay, so he already did the most awful thing he could have done, and that was cheat. But he was honest. So he's got that going for him at least. And if he wants to work things out, he's going to have to take the blame and take whatever is coming to him. If she is pissed, let her be pissed and just take it. Take the anger and just wait it out and see what she wants to do. The ball is absolutely 100% in her court. So whatever she wants, she gets at this point. If you want to stay in this marriage, If she wants to go through therapy, then you guys are going to go to counseling together. If she wants just you to go to counseling, then you're going to have to go to counseling because the ball is absolutely 100% in her court.
Gimpy.
Yeah, man, there's really nothing you can do. Honestly, just sit back and take your lumps as they are. All right. If she wants it to work, she'll figure it out. She's gonna be mad AF for a long time, and you're gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to deal with being boring. There's not gonna be any time going out with the boys or going out doing what else, And if you can't handle that, then you need to walk away. You need to realize, well, I effed this one up. I'm just going to go ahead and take my ball and I'm going to go home and then I'll come back and play the game another day. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's nothing really you can do. Just let time pass it on by. That's it.
I'm sorry. I have no gimmick for you that will work. You tell her you want it to work. You made a giant mistake and you're willing to work through it. She doesn't hear that. You got your answer. It's pretty black and white, man.
Yeah.
You have to eat your S sandwich. And when you go on and date in the future and be asked what happened with your marriage, you got to be honest. You est the bed royally. And so either you tell her what you want and hope she appeases you, but why beg someone to be with you? The Huffington Post has a list of the rudest things to avoid when you're visiting someone's home, like things you shouldn't do, right?
Oh, okay.
Touching or moving things.
Well, yeah.
Oh, so like if I'm guilty of this though. Like if a picture
I'm shocked.
If a picture is crooked hanging on the wall, I'll straighten it.
Why?
No.
Why? It's not yours.
Exactly.
Nope. Because I'm sure that it wasn't supposed to be crooked.
You don't know that. Some people like things off kilter like that.
I'll even mention it. I'm gonna fix that.
Oh, that's rude. That's like, like the cliche of like a mom coming in, like, your pictures aren't straight.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Ma.
Another one. Expecting a tour.
Oh, yeah.
You don't walk in and be like, give me a tour.
No, I don't.
I totally do. I love snooping around.
Because I don't want someone to do that to me. Because what if your bedrooms aren't clean or the bathroom's not clean?
Then they'll let you know.
Yeah.
Furthermore, Susan, they shouldn't be having company over if that's the case. Bedroom, maybe. Right? Bathrooms, though, clean that ass up if you're having company come over.
Another one. Overstaying your welcome.
Right.
How long? What's the good amount of time to stay at someone's house?
Depends on what the activity is.
Yeah.
Let's say dinner.
Oh, okay.
Couple hours.
2 hours after dinner. After 2 hours.
So you still at 6, 8, get out.
Because now it's time for the family to wind down.
Yeah.
And start doing their own nightly routine.
And I think it depends on who it is too. Like you always know, I think, depending on which friend it is.
Snooping.
Oof.
Yeah.
Opening the cabinet.
Yeah, you
to
don't
look
do
through the
that.
medicine cabinet. You feel like you give the vibe that you do that.
No, I don't do that.
Okay, it's not an insult. I'm just saying it gives a vibe.
Why?
Because you're nosy. You're very nosy.
What makes me nosy?
Well, you'll walk into a room when a conversation's happening going, wait, what are we talking about?
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You love knowing other people's gossip?
Yeah. I'll watch those gossip shows.
No, I'm talking
They're
like
there
personal
for.
gossip. I'm not talking about TV shows.
Yeah, if we're here, I don't want to miss out on anything, for sure.
Yeah, that's nosy.
Yeah.
Bringing an uninvited +1.
Yeah. Because now you're forcing the other people to like entertain somebody they don't know. It just makes
Right,
everything.
or don't like.
Exactly. And it's not your place to be inviting somebody else over.
Feeding their dog.
Huh? Oh, like table scraps or something?
I think that's what they mean,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you'd be like, where's your chow chow so I can put it in the bowl? Yeah, some people do that. Some people think that because they feed their dogs table scraps or popcorn or whatever, that they can do that with your dog.
That's good that your dog's stomach is adapted to that, but now you're going to make your friend's dog crap all over their house because it's not used to that.
Showing up empty-handed.
I don't think that's that bad. I mean, do I have to bring potato salad every time I come over?
No.
Exactly.
No, I always take something.
Yeah, I always take a bottle of wine.
Okay.
Always, always.
All right. I usually got my medicine on me, so that just works out perfectly.
Yeah, but that's not extra, right? Like you said, it's like offering him a cigarette.
Right. I don't have to share with you, though. That's the thing. I don't have to.
Yes, but you're not going out of your way is the point, right?
Listen, I'm the guy that goes to Walmart and gets the cookies for the potluck that we're having here at work, okay? Do you expect more from me?
Yeah, I think if you go to someone's house and they're making, like, let's just say dinner still, you got to take something.
Yeah.
I did. I brought
even
my
a
appetite.
dessert or wine, whatever.
Yeah.
Something.
It's just manners, Gimpy, right?
Right. Yeah, sure.
No.
Listen, y'all invited me over. Okay, cool. I'll come over and have dinner. That's all right. Doesn't mean I have to bring a bottle of wine or a 6-pack or a bottle of anything for that fact. That's that. Unless you say so. Hey, BYOB, bring a bottle, bring a side item. We'll get the main course. That happens to me a lot. We got the main courses. Come on over for barbecue, whatever. Bring a side item. All right, cool. Tater salad it is.
I've never gone to someone's house and like looked around and said to myself, that's so dirty here.
Oh.
Ugh.
Wow.
What, do they have lives? Right? I don't go, their sheets, they didn't even make their bed. I don't do all that.
Oh, I bet you have.
Look down my nose at you.
Because life happens.
Depends on the level of the filth. Right, if you walk into somebody's house,
if you're a hoarder,
like hoarders, yeah, exactly.
I ain't going to your house. I already know you're a hoarder.
But this is the first time you didn't realize that they were disgusting people or hoarders until you walk into their house. right?
No. You can read a hoarder a mile away. No, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
Hoarder.
Yeah, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
You just tell by the way they dress, their lack of showering,
or by their vehicle.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Right. I think absolutely.
But you still don't say anything. You just kind of watch where you sit down, maybe scooch the newspapers or whatever, paper plates with leftover pizza rolls on them and hang out for a little bit. And I got to go. I got it.
If I'm going to judge, I'm judging, like, I'm going to judge the food. So I'm not going to judge like, hey, your bed wasn't made.
No.
I'm going to judge, oh my God, you served Brussels sprouts or whatever that is.
Right.
I'm not going to get all like, ugh, you didn't clean for my arrival.
Right. Because you're right. Life happens,
Life
especially
happens.
if you've got small children.
Oh, and you're having a dinner party.
Right. You can expect toys to be all over the place. Now, there's a difference between, a little clutter, kids don't know how to pick up their toys, and your house looks like Ross, dressed for less. You know what I'm saying?
Right. 60 KMOD. Kong. She was a model and she was found in a soup pot.
Oh, no.
Soup pot?
A soup pot.
Okay.
4 people have been charged in her murder. Police say she was decapitated and her head had been boiled until only the skull remained.
Wow.
She was a rising fashion star. She had been featured in Elle, Vogue, and Harper's Bazaar. She went missing Tuesday. Her ex-husband was charged with murder Sunday, along with his brother and father, according to local broadcasters. Former mother-in-law was charged with obstruction in the case. They were all denied bail. They continue to search nearby sewers for body parts belonging to her. 3 days after she had appeared on the cover of a magazine, she went missing. Police found 2 female legs in a refrigerator and 2 cooking pots containing human tissue. And they also found a meat slicer with an electric saw at the scene. It is one thing to be mad at someone and wanting to hurt them. That's obviously not okay, but that's one thing. To then chop them up and boil them.
Well, that's deep, man.
That's a whole other thing.
Hopefully nobody had been eating out of this soup pot, which, by the way, I mean, is this like just a community soup? Like everybody just come on down, dip your bowl in here and get you some?
I think it's just the vessel of which they tried to get rid of the thing. I don't think they were actually serving food. The autopsy report found she suffered a large hole in her skull right behind her ear, which may have been caused by a hard object. Quote, when we found the 2 pots of soup at the scene, one of the pots measuring 50 centimeters deep and 40 centimeters in diameter was almost full and covered with a thick fat, some green radishes and carrots and meat believed to be human flesh. Local
Ugh.
authorities have not recovered her torso, arms, and they fear those may have been thrown away.
So they were like legit trying to just cover that. No, it's just soup in here, man.
Police called the killing premeditated and well planned and said they believed the accused men carried out the murder because she was going to sell a luxury property in a neighborhood near them.
Huh. She wasn't a cheating whore, huh?
She had funded the property's purchase, but registered the land under the name of her former father-in-law to save taxes. Her ex-husband's family has reportedly been living on the property, so they didn't want to move. Authorities believe the former brother-in-law offered to take her to pick up her daughter from school, but instead knocked her out in the vehicle and brought her to the house to be butchered. Suspects covered the walls of the flat with a sail and then put on face shields and raincoats so that they would not get bloodstained by dismembering her body.
Yeah, I imagine there's a lot of blood, a lot of ick when you're dismembering somebody. I mean, they're not taking them out, hanging them upside down, and draining them before they start skinning them.
Do you think they threw up, like got sick when they were dismembering her? I would imagine first time doing something like that, you would get sick. It would make you physically sick.
Maybe. I mean, what if they're active hunters and cutting open bodies and all the blood is not that big of a deal to them?
I think if you look at it from a standpoint, which you are at the point you are of that sounds outlandish. Yes, I think there's a possibility. I think when you are at a point of hatred and being menacing, no. You're not doing that I don't know. You are fully there.
Yeah.
Right? You bought a sail.
Yeah.
Maybe. To cover up so you wouldn't, you knew what you were getting into.
Right. You got Gordon's, rain slicks to keep the blood off of you.
And in that situation, there's always one ringleader.
Okay.
So there's somebody that was the intimidator. So the moment you're like, hey, suck it up, man.
Yeah.
We got a job to do. Get it done.
Right. My guess is probably her ex-husband was probably the guy in charge of this one.
Our
I don't
boyfriend.
know. It said here that he was caught trying to leave on a speedboat with $63,698 in cash, several luxury watches valued around $500,000 on him. So he was trying to get by. I'm taking my money and I'm out of here.
I wonder the number of times being evasive on a speedboat has worked out. I feel like that's not very high. Now, if they're in maybe a catamaran or a tritoon or something, maybe, okay. And they're in a cigar boat or something.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But
seems like something you only see in movies, right? Where they try to escape on a speedboat and then Jean-Claude Van Damme's right behind them trying to catch up.
Well, it's have you ever seen there's a what's the movie with Ed Norton and Donald Sutherland and they're stealing gold or whatever.
Italian Job? Nah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And in that movie, there's a scene where they go and do a getaway scene through the alleyways of Venice, which is all water. And you see it and you're like, oh, wow, okay. Unless you've been to Venice and you're like, no way.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so narrow. It's like our hallway. It's so narrow. And they're running speedboats
Yeah. Love Hollywood, man.
Yeah, it's fantastic, right?
Filling us up with false hopes for centuries.
The idea that you could do that, maybe. Have you ever overcorrected on a boat?
Oh God, right. You spin around.
It's easy.
Damn it.
Because the brakes aren't real good.
No. Almost none.
Reverse is the only brake.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can't drift around a corner in the way you think. That's where Fast and Furious really missed the boat, if you will.
Oh yeah, how so?
God, they should have done a water version.
Bro, that franchise ain't over yet.
They should totally do a boat version. It would. People would love it.
Right, it would make a splash.
It would make a splash. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
Tulsa's Morning Show, the Big Mad Morning Show. The assault continues.
2,
Wow.
if that. I'm struggling for her too, bro.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Lasagna.
3.
Wow. Gimpy,
Who's making it?
whoever your favorites is.
It's even my mom's lasagna. That would like rank like a 2 or 3 for me, and that's because it's mom's. So lasagna, just in general,
Yeah.
that's a 1.
Chicken Parmesan. Or sorry, chicken Parmigiana.
9.
Never had it.
What?
Crazy.
It feels crazy.
Yeah. So that's going to be a 0 for me, dog.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Chicken. Oh my gosh.
Is it the eggplant and the?
Nope.
That
nut?
one's good too.
That's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
All right. Chicken piccata. Chicken piccata is the lemon chicken. I know. It's lemon.
Yeah, 7.
That's 0.
Oh my God. So,
Like we went to that fancy Italian place for the boss that what was that last week, his lunch or whatever. And I'm looking at the menu, I was like,
Mondo's great Italian restaurant.
Mondo's, I respect them and what they do. It's just Italian is not for me. I'm like, I don't know what to get. Everything on the menu had either mushrooms or lemon on it. And I was just like, what's this stuff with the shrimp? Sounds good. I'll eat the shrimp over the noodles, which is exactly what I did.
I mean, I wanted to see. All right, so let's just go with a couple things here because I'm trying to find fried mozzarella.
I mean, that's just deep
10.
fried cheese. But even then, I want to give it like a 4.
Calamari.
10.
Calamari. I'll go ahead and give that like maybe a 6 or something because I've had calamari at other places that's not Italian food.
Bruschetta or bruschetta.
Huh?
10.
Was that the fancy bread?
It's most of the time it's toasted little pieces of bread with tomatoes and olive oil and balsamic and basil and
Yes,
stuff.
the extremely stale bread that you chip a tooth on every time you eat it. That's a 0.
Let's see. Let's get it. Spaghetti and meatball ravioli.
Lindsay?
6.
Only if it's Chef Boyardee. Which actually his name was Chef Boyardee, but we had to Americanize
Yeah. Give me your rating, Mr. Wikipedia.
1,
Tortellini.
4.
2.
Peppers and onions.
That's it. Like no sausage to put them on,
It's
or
sausage,
anything?
peppers, and onions. It's typically
With like a
4.
bun, I mean, I guess with the sausage, peppers, and onions, I give it like a 3, 4, maybe even.
fettuccine carbonara.
What's the carbonara part?
Bacon.
Oh.
That's a 5.
What?
1.
Eggplant parmigiana.
Yeah, that's 8.
That's a big 0 for me, homie.
Meatball sub.
Oh, God.
5.
This is getting worse and worse the further we go down. 0, man. That stuff is too messy. It doesn't eat well. You have to have a fork to eat a sandwich. I think that's retarded.
Oh, I liked it. Gnocchi.
What? Huh? Oh, okay. I've had that come in like a HelloFresh or something like that once. And I was like, what is this? What is this garbage?
Oh, you didn't enjoy it?
Lindsay.
5.
0.
Oh my gosh.
I know it sounds crazy, but like when it comes to like the Big 10 of restaurants and foods and stuff, Italian's at the bottom of that list for me, man.
Somebody texted in and said, you think Zio's is delicious? You got to try Luigi's and Skytook. So authentic. I think it's run by the actual Italian mob. I've had Luigi's and Skytook. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. It's not like I go to Zio's and I order one of everything.
Right.
I worked there after college, and their 5 cheese pasta, adding chicken to it, was so good.
Yeah.
Their spinach artichoke dip, which isn't Italian, whatever, but it was so good.
Mm-hmm. I just like the brown paper on the tables that give you crayons.
The cannoli, yeah, I know how to write my name upside down. Cannoli, with the Alfredo and the chicken stuff, so good there.
I'll give you that. I'll give you the Italian dish, the cannoli. That's delicious just because it's cheese and powdered sugar.
No. That's the dessert.
I know.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
That's the only Italian food that I really, 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 really like is a good old cannoli.
We haven't gotten to the real one.
Uh-huh.
Pizza.
I've said it before, and y'all thought I was crazy.
1 to 10.
1 to 10, a pizza.
It's a
That's
10.
going to be a 3 for me. So low on the scale, man.
Lindsay.
10.
Yeah.
Always.
Pretty much all those except peppers and onions that we've mentioned
Uh-huh.
are about anywhere between an 8 and a 10 for me.
Really?
See, I love peppers and onions. I don't love the heartburn, but man, it's almost worth the heartburn for me.
A good bolognese pasta.
Well, Italian food. They are the Beatles for me.
A nice
Of the
short
food.
short rib braised ragu.
Ragu, the sauce in a jar.
So it's just no. So good. I'm telling you, man, Italian food.
I like Young Sheldon way more than The Big Bang Theory.
If you ever say that again, I'm going to call the HR department.
Why?
That
Big
is
Bang
the
Theory
most
is a
offensive
giant turd.
That's the most offensive thing I think I've ever heard you
Young
say.
Sheldon it's not the greatest, but it's better than Big Bang Theory.
I am so disappointed in you right now. You've done some things that are pretty crazy, and this might be the most disappointing thing I've ever heard you say.
He was the executive producer of Cowboys and Aliens.
I feel like you and I run in succession on a lot of things, but this Young Sheldon thing has got me twisted.
Have you ever watched an episode?
I've watched enough to go, no.
If I gun to my head, you got to choose one, Young Sheldon or Big Bang Theory. I'm going to choose Young Sheldon, man.
No, I'm still a no. I'll pick Big Bang.
Just shoot. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of the girl. She's so hot.
Yeah, but
Kaylee Cuoco.
But everything else about that show negates her hotness.
I can turn it down.
It doesn't matter. You still got all those other
Doesn't
dorks.
matter.
David from Roseanne and, the old Sheldon. And I'm just like, yeah.
Her and David are the best characters on that show.
I'll give you that. But for the most part, the show is.
By the way, there's some people right now just so twisted up. I didn't pick the Bazing guy or whatever.
Whatever
I
his
don't
name
even know his name.
I never watched either one of those.
I find that shocking.
Yeah. I pick Roseanne over either one of those.
I figured
Well,
you would
shows.
be in that market there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think you're off a couple decades with Roseanne.
No, or the Connors. I'll watch the Connors over.
Again,
either
I think the
one.
Connors came way late, like almost at the very end
Oh,
Yeah.
The Big Bang?
of Big Bang. Yeah.
Okay.
And the other one that she was on with John Ritter. yeah.
Parents?
No.
Rules dating my teenage
Yes,
daughter, something like
yes.
that. 16
Nice.
rules to dating my teenage daughter
Yes.
or something. Yeah.
Yes.
Had Peggy Bundy in it as well.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know that show either.
Yeah, that one was good. Because she played the blonde daughter that you like from
Yeah.
Big Bang. She played his daughter on that.
8 Simple Rules was the
Yes,
name
that
of
was
it.
it.
He
And,
doubled
I
it.
had to check it. That was a good
16.
series. That was a good
36
series.
rules.
It
How many rules you need to date your teenage daughter
Yeah.
is, arbitrary. This
Infinite.
guy needed 8. I need like 32.
8. What were the rules of the show for dating the
I
daughter?
don't think they ever said.
I don't either.
Oh, come
I
on.
don't think they ever said.
Come on. Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS, then what you want to say. The phone number, 82945. I just saw Jeff Hensley walk in. He'll be here in a minute. Get your question to us or start formulating that question. A couple ways to get it to us. Email address is show@kmod.com. You can text it, BMMS and whatever that is, to 82945 or call it 918-460-KMOD. While you're formulating those questions about family law, let's see what Lindsay has for Balls to the Wall Sports.
The Los Angeles Rams have had trade talks about 6-time Pro Bowl cornerback Jalen Ramsey. And league sources now believe it's very likely that Ramsey is going to get traded in the coming weeks. Ramsey, 28, is due $17 million in 2023 on a front-loaded deal that averages $20 million, and Los Angeles is trying to clear up some cap space. You think he'll get traded,
Yes,
Corbin?
they're trying to free up some money.
Yeah.
They're trying to make some moves. McVay came back and he realized whatever they did last year, they have the worst season after a Super Bowl win ever in the history of the NFL. So they're looking to make some changes.
Who do you think they'll get in
I think they're trying to get
place?
some drafts. I think they're trying to get some draft picks.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. And the rumor is Chicago wants to deal out. So
We'll take him.
sure.
Russell Wilson had a lot of problems in his first season with the Denver Broncos, but some comments a player from his former team made last week have raised a big question. Was the veteran quarterback out of shape? Seattle Seahawks cornerback Tariq Wooden, who finished his rookie season, shared some of his thoughts on Wilson during a recent appearance on a podcast. Wooden said he was surprised by Wilson's build when he saw the QB in person, and not in a good way. He said, seeing him in person, it was pretty funny because on TV, if you see him, when I was in college, it was like, okay, he looks like he's in shape on TV, but you see him in person and it's weird because he looks like, quote, a sack of potatoes. He's athletic and he's a good player, but literally when I see him, I was like, damn, I didn't know he was built like that. Wooden seemed to be making the point that Wilson has probably always looked that way in person. However, his comment led to immediate speculation that the quarterback may have been out of shape in his first season with the Broncos.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't look in phenomenal shape. Man's 5'11", 200 pounds.
And battled some
he's
injuries
fine.
this past season.
Yeah, they are in a messed up scenario because they owe him money.
Right.
Yeah.
And so are they going to bench him? He's getting a lot of money no matter what.
Right.
Yeah, there were also some other reported big issues in Denver, but no big questions about his conditioning. It's possible Wooden just thought Wilson was more ripped than the quarterback actually is.
Sure. It's weird to flex and be like, he's out of shape.
Yeah. Yeah. Veteran quarterback Matt Ryan is closing on the end of his playing career. He has another plan in mind. The New York Post reports that Ryan is very interested in launching a broadcasting career. Ryan's under contract with the Colts. If he were to retire, he'd lose $12 million in guaranteed salary for 2023. The Colts will nevertheless cut Ryan before March 17th, when he earns a $10 million roster bonus and has another $7 million on 2023 salary become fully guaranteed. The challenge for Ryan, to the extent of the Colts would be inclined to play hardball over the offset obligation, would be to seek playing opportunities while also exploring broadcasting possibilities. If he goes all in on broadcasting, the Colts could make a stink over his failure to try to find other football work as a vet backup for compensation close to the $12 million that he's owed.
Listen to this money that Russell Wilson's getting.
Yeah.
$124 million guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Damn.
No matter what. And then if they exercise it on March 15th, he'll get another $20 million.
Damn.
Guaranteed.
It's a lot of money.
And he's not good. He's not playing well. He is a headache.
20 million, sack of potatoes.
So even if they pay him, they still out some money. They still take the cap hit regardless. They got a problem in Denver.
Yeah.
They will not fix that this year.
That's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Great taste.
Oh, fun.
All serial killers are men. That is a myth.
Well, yeah.
Reality is that it's just not true. As of late of 1998, a highly regarded former FBI profiler said there are no female serial killers. The news and entertainment media also perpetrate the stereotypes that all serial killer offenders are male and that women do not engage in horrible acts of violence. The lethality of a female fatale is presented in book or film. She's most often portrayed as the manipulated victim of a dominant male. The reality concerning the gender of serial killers is quite different from the mythology of it. There have been many more male serial killers than females throughout history. The presence of female serial killers is well documented in crime data. We pointed that out when we did our list the other week. In fact, approximately 17% of all serial killer homicides in the U.S. are committed by women. Only 10% of total murders in the U.S. are committed by women. Therefore, relative to men, women present a larger percentage of serial murders than all the other homicide cases in the U.S. How about that? All serial killers are Caucasian. That is a myth as well. They span all racial and ethnic groups. The racial diversity of serial killers is generally mirrors that of the overall U.S. population.
Okay.
So they're not always white. All serial killers are isolated and dysfunctional loners. We're led to believe that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in the film Red Dragon, the Tooth Fairy serial killer. Real life serial killers are not the isolated monsters of fiction, and frequently they do not appear to be strange or stand out from the public in any meaningful way.
Look like normal everyday people.
Yeah.
I.e. Ted Bundy.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
John Wayne Gacy.
Fourth myth. All serial murderers travel widely and kill interstate. So that's not true. The most infamous serial killer, Ted Bundy, is the rare exception who traveled and killed interstate. Bundy twice escaped from police custody and committed at least 30 homicides in states of Washington, Utah, Florida, Colorado, Oregon, Idaho, California.
Yeah, I kind of guess that makes sense. I mean, if you're killing people, the bodies are going to start stacking up in your hometown. Right? So it's like, let's move around, try to just not to get caught sort of thing.
Yes, but again, that's a myth that they mostly happen
in
a concentrated area.
Mm-hmm.
Fifth myth. All serial killers are either mentally ill or or evil geniuses.
Okay.
Think of like Dr. Hannibal Lecter. These stereotypes are not accurate. Instead, serial killers are much more likely to exhibit antisocial personality disorders such as sociopathy or psychopathy, which are not considered to be mental illness by the American Psychiatric Association. An examination of psychopathy and sociopathy and a discussion of the powerful connection between antisocial personality disorders and serial homicide is in a book that you can read more about that. I'm not going to think about like 7, like you think he's antisocial. That makes sense.
Right. Creepy, weird guy in the back.
Yeah.
Murders cats on the weekends because he's got nothing better to do.
So if it's so if it's not a mental illness, then you would be able to stand a trial.
It's not a mental illness recognized.
Okay.
The wording there is really important.
Yeah.
It's not a mental illness recognized by the American Psychiatric Association, which probably goes to what you're saying. Right.
Yeah.
Because if I say you're a psychopath, hey, apparently.
Right. You say I'm a serial killer. Like, no.
Right.
Never.
So we'll find out more about this guy as the story comes out. But for them to enter, like, they were following him. They had a guy that thought was a suspect. They were following him. And they're like, hey, wait a minute. Is he got to go? We got to go now.
Man.
Officer, Sergeant, we got to go. We got to go. What's happening? You're just supposed to watch him. No, man, he's got a mask and a gun. We think he's going to kill right now.
Well, it would suck if they, got the wrong person. And it was just some guy,
it's possible
dressing up for like a early Halloween party or
a prank or something.
A prank or something like that. And
it's kind of a weird prank to put a gun in your pocket.
No kidding.
It is California, and there are serial killers on the loose.
Sure. How crazy would it be if they didn't catch him, but this was a different serial killer?
Oh my God, right? Totally kind of different killer by accident.
They didn't know.
Meanwhile, he still got this guy over here.
Right.
So we'll find out in the next couple of weeks.
Right. They have to quell nervousness. So can you would have to come out and go, we didn't get him. This isn't the guy. Dude.
Oh my God.
Poof. People would lose their ass.
Oh yeah.
They would get overly anxious.
Yeah. Because just when you thought there was one roaming around, we'll come to find out now you got 2 of them roaming around.
Or if it's
and you got one and this other one's still on the loose. Well, how many goddamn serial killers are out there just roaming around?
Or they announced that he can go free.
Right. Yeah.
What if you were wronging that guy and it was he's not a serial killer? Or, oh my gosh, he is a serial killer. And you're like, I know him. We got in an argument over the rice-a-roni.
I consider myself lucky then.
He comes into my diner. I serve him coffee every day.
Totally going to be those people.
Man arrested for the 70th
D-Day always comes. And for
Right.
this story, we're talking about Discovery.
Right.
D-Day came many times for her. Man arrested for the 70th time. This comes out of Ohio where there's this dude. He's 62 years old. He goes into his local Walmart. He has a suitcase with him. He takes a shopping cart and a suitcase, goes to the meat department, and just stacks piles of meat in his shopping cart and walks straight out the door with it.
I guess Walmart, at least this particular Walmart, has some newfangled shopping carts where you get past the security gate and they automatically lock up the wheels on you. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Huh.
Never heard of that before.
How do they keep that technology working? The carts
Yeah.
barely don't have a wanky wheel.
I don't know, but apparently that's what happened. Is the guy pushes his meat straight out of the past the security gate, and he's outside, and his wheels lock up. So what's he do? He just takes and puts as much of his meat as he can in his suitcase, and then just throws the rest in the dumpster. Well, of course, now the police have been called. The police find him at a bus stop across the street.
Right, because buses are never on time.
Absolutely. So they go over there. They bust the man at the bus stop, and he tells them that he steals the meat and then sells them the restaurants for half the price. But he didn't name the restaurants he sold them to because he ain't no snitch. Anyhow, they ended up arresting him.
Criminal, yeah,
Yeah,
but
but he
snitch.
ain't no
Oof,
snitch.
Everybody's got a line.
All right. So they arrested him, took him to jail, and apparently this is his 70th time being arrested.
Hello, Guinness.
Mm.
Is there a place in your record book for this?
Should there be a punishment after your 50th arrest? Like, hey, the punishment is you've been arrested too much.
I thought there was something different for after your third.
Depending on the intensity of the crime.
Right. Like 3 strikes, you're out.
On violent crimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like rape and murder, not,
Yeah.
meat stealing from the
Right.
Walmart.
Theft,
Mhm.
larceny, right? Larcenies, jaywalking,
Right. Littering.
littering, trespassing, all those wouldn't count.
I think that they should keep him locked up for some time because this is his 70th time being arrested. So instead of letting him bond out, why don't you keep him in for, I don't know, 6 months to a year?
I bet he's done prison time.
He probably has, because the guy that's been that just, brazenly goes into the Walmart, steals the meat, and then walks out with it. He doesn't give a damn.
He went in with a suitcase.
Yeah, he knew
Yeah.
exactly what he was doing. And if this is his 70th time for the same offense, good Lord.
Best had a kick-ass bonfire and cookout. Yeah.
Hooray!
Worse, got bit by a snake yesterday. I'm on my legs all effed up.
Yeah, that sucks.
I mean, if you got bit by a snake, do you need to go have it, was it poisonous?
Nah,
Yeah.
man. You have somebody suck it out.
I thought you pee on it.
Isn't it? No, that's
No.
jellyfish.
Oh, what do you have, Lindsay?
The man, the myth, the legend is here. Jeff Hensley, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? A
I'm good.
little tired, but I'm good. I'm here. So
When you came in here, I was just thinking to myself, he must not have court today because he is pretty in his flannel today, pretty laid back. And that's the first thing I thought of, because earlier today we were talking about our best and worst, and we were going to the mall. I'd gone with my son,
right.
and I had bought him shoes, and I wanted to buy him some new shirts.
Right.
And we had gone to church, and when I saw your flannel shirt, it was the first thing I thought of. He had worn this really nice button-down shirt that I had